Hello again, everybody, and welcome to 4-Star Chicago Sports. This is Victory Monday. It's a special Victory Monday. What a cardiac Bears come from behind victory. I'm still reeling. I'm still happy. And we're going to talk about it all right after this.
Windy City banners rocking 4 stars aligned. Dynasty dreams rise, Bulls in their prime. Cubs curse shattered, the victory divine. Fields be running, clock ticking on my timeline. Shot-town heroes, legends never fade. Black Hawks flying, cutting ice with the blade. White Sox diamonds, the Southside parade. 4 stars shine bright, legacies they made. Mike with the crown, air rain, no dispute. Sweetness in the backfield, Walter in pursuit. Bear down, sun. DJ Moore and he kind of nicks and come across the field.
2 hours later.
I just got to ask you guys. I just gotta ask you, at that moment, what were you thinking? Because I know I was absolutely going insane.
Sean jump hugged me, guys.
Dude,
Jump hugged me, dude. I'm like, bro, I don't have my footing.
I was at home and the baby was asleep, man. I was running around like just high-fiving my friend's Franco, my friend Franco's 7-year-old. We were just running around the house like memeing our scream because we couldn't be loud. It's fucking ridiculous.
I think I just smiled, to be honest. At this juncture, it's like an expectation of these guys. They like this moment, man. I just smirked. Like,
I don't know if it was
Like a blue donkey.
I'm gonna say it was very unexpected. That's just the way I felt. I didn't see that coming.
I don't know, man. Watching all the reactions on Instagram and social Facebook and all that is awesome. It's absolutely amazing, dude. I mean, there's these bars in Chicago. They were shaking.
Dude, there's so much to get into, and there's like a lot that played into that game that led to what we're all feeling right now. And I just think, I mean, the Bears clinched the playoff spot last night after that, right? When the Lions lost. I mean, it's a fucking great weekend for the Chicago Bears and us as fans. And I'm still trying to process it all. I'm just kind of walking around randomly still today, like going, oh my God, like all of that just happened. And this happened on Saturday night, you know? So like, let's break it down and get into it piece by piece. But like, I just think we all should fucking really enjoy how we're feeling right now because the Bears are going to the playoffs and they beat the fucking Packers in an incredible fashion. Incredible, man. I don't know.
Dude, I looked at Sean on the first replay of the touchdown. I looked at everybody in Sean's garage and I'm like, you guys, Caleb threw that ball and then just stuck his hands in his hand.
I loved it.
I watched it.
That's my favorite part.
I'm like,
unbelievable.
Coldest motherfucker in the league, guys. He just knew it. He's like, yep. Matter of factly, that's what's supposed to happen.
First down. They only needed a field goal.
What makes me smile again and again watching that play is he had endured so much abuse in that game that DJ Moore's lying out like he's dead was the perfect way to celebrate that touchdown because he had just gotten his ass kicked again and again. And you're like, oh, at some point, this guy's just not coming back in this game. And then he just lays out after he makes the catch, like, it's finally over. It's finally over.
Not to mention the energy they exerted just to get in that. DJ had that illegal shift where he couldn't get set, you know, before that play when they were hurrying up to go tie that game. He was gassed.
He was winded. He was abused. He was beat up, and I'll never forget how he laid out like that.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we gotta all do a show where we have the fuck. You know what? I'll be back.
When we beat them in the playoffs, we'll all have those hats on because we're gonna knock their ass out of the playoffs next. That's what's gonna happen because we're destined to meet for a third time. But I said this on the pre-show on Sunday that Caleb Williams came here and wanted to be legendary, and becoming legend starts with making moments. And man, did he make a moment? And that moment is going to be the start of what makes this kid immortal in the hearts of Chicago people, of Chicago Bear fans forever. And that was unbelievable. It's a great start to what I believe is going to be an unbelievable career. And still all the naysayers out there that say, oh, he's not improving. Yeah, it was a brutal game, guys. It was a brutal game. And if you think about it this way, and say that if they don't get that onside kick, the Packers recover that, and I'm in a completely different conversation because at that point, Caleb was 12 for 25 for 151 yards and no touchdowns versus a Parsons-less Packers defense. So that was a little scary for me, seeing that how many injuries are out, and we're in that last 3 minutes.
Sean, it might not even come down to that. I mean, the fact that the Bears screwed up the timing in that game and they didn't get the field goal off before the 2-minute warning, so they lost that timeout. I think they kicked the ball all the way downfield. If that doesn't happen, they don't go for the onside kick, which means they probably lose the game because the Packers would have picked up a couple first downs and ran the clock out.
Yeah.
The best thing that ever happened to the Chicago Bears in that game was not getting that field goal off before the 2-minute warning.
I understand where you're coming from, Sean, but I do want to say that the Packers defense was ranked 5th in the league last year without Micah Parsons. It's a good unit without Micah Parsons. It is. But yeah, you'd expect the Bears team that averages 24 points a game to be able to exploit it's a few injuries.
Weaknesses.
What's up, Steve? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining the show, bro.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for everybody who's joining already. Wow, we got a pretty full.
Samo, appreciate you, man. Steve,
go Bears, guys. Obviously a big moment.
Jed, Daniel Jeffries, Scottish Bear, J2K's in the house, Ant Mass is in the house. Everybody's here, man. John's here, Vizzo Joe's here. I think I mentioned Phil already. And then we had to start the show off. Dante said, "I'm running late, boys. Don't start without me. Start at 5:10." I've never seen this. Trust FPS. Yeah, what's up, man? It says
got a new one.
It says the Bears. Let's fucking go, guys. Yeah, he says it's
what's up, Trust? What's going on? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, guys. I mean, I don't like we can dive into the specifics of Caleb and the defense and all that, but like I said, Sean, on Sunday, there's a point where if Ben Johnson is the coach that he seems to be very much, and Caleb's taken that step week by week to being a franchise quarterback, the tides will turn. They will.
Oh, I believe.
And there will be a stretch of years where the Bears are consistently beating the Packers, and you just had to ask yourself, how much do you believe in Ben? Is it now? Or is that somewhere down the road? And with as far ahead of schedule as they were, I did firmly believe the Bears at home were a better team than the Green Bay Packers. And because Ben Johnson is that dude. He is. Ben Johnson is that guy, man. So you'd expect the Bears to start winning these games more often than not. I think he's a better coach than Matt LaFleur. I'm sure I'll catch some flack for that. But I feel like, you're making this is now 2 out of the last 3 that you've won. This is a moment, like you said, man, and it's time. It's time for the Bears to start consistently beating this football team.
And I want to say something over here, Steve, our Packers buddy in the chat. I don't think this is over. I don't think any of us.
I think it's only just begun.
Yeah, I think it's just beginning, man. This is gonna go on for at least the next 5 years. Well, the Packers have one of the youngest rosters, if not the youngest roster in the league. This is going to be. There is genuine hate. I believe there's genuine hate between these players and the Bears and the Packers. I mean, you even had Jade Walker mixing up with Carrington Valentine in the end zone, which I thought was fantastic for a rookie who doesn't really know about this rivalry yet, but he's learned about it so quickly, and he's in there, and they're tussling in the ends. I mean, I just believe there's straight up hate between these teams. I think the coaches secretly, they don't come out in the media and say it, but I don't think they like each other that much either. I think Ben Johnson wanted it that way. And that's the reason why he said what he said in his opening presser. And I love it because Packers fans don't like Bears fans, vice versa. So, hey, let's all just have a great disdain for each other. That's the way I see it. Whatever.
It's the only way to do it. I mean, it's Bears, Packers. Fuck them. I mean, they're still trying to come up with excuses. I mean, at the end of the day, the Bears took out your quarterback. And Malik Willis came in and he played pretty well. He was kind of shredding that Bears defense, guys. That was concerning. There was a lot to be concerned about as a Bears fan, but that doesn't really overpower what this Bears team is. And we all know it. We all know it. We see it. This team is special, right? This team, let me just make this point. This team is at its best when things are at their worst, right? This team is at its best when things are at their worst. And like we all know people, we've looked up to people, emulated people that we wanted to be like. That's a trait of a successful person in life. That's a trait of a successful team in the NFL. When things get to their worst, this team rises up and plays their best. And I mean, you can't really quantify that. And you can look at all the stats. You can look at the time of possession. You can look at how the Packers dominated in the run game, all those things. It didn't fucking matter because the Bears found ways to get it done. And they found a way to win. And I don't care if your quarterback was in or not. You know, ain't nobody made excuses all year. This Bears team has dealt with injuries out the wazoo the entire season. Continue to find ways to get it done.
The most games
this team is resilient and gritty.
Yes. The Packers
most
have
games
half the
missed
games
due to
missed injuries than the Chicago Bears.
The Bears have the most in the NFL.
I think it was 250 to 125 as far as total games between the Bears had 250 games missed from their players, the Packers 125 on the season. I believe I saw that stat. If not, it's really, really close to that. So I don't want to hear their crying and whining and complaining, because I brought this up to you in a text, or we were talking earlier, Kyle. When Jay Cutler got knocked out of the NFC Championship game, the Packers fans weren't crying for us. So I'm not crying for, again, and I love this comment over here. What is he supposed to do? Jordan Love did bend down at the same time as Austin Booker was coming in. I hate
dropped his head.
Rule. He did drop his head. Watch it in slow motion. Crouches down, brings his head down, and it's a 15-yard penalty on Austin Booker. I think it's a terrible call in the league. I think these quarterbacks are just way too protected. It was in the Steelers game that they got a terrible penalty call. The guy tried to turn his body to the side, and he still got 15 yards while he was in the air. The rule
as a defender, as a defender, you got such a small target area that you can hit, especially with the quarterback when they're in the pocket. And Booker was trying to go towards the chest area. Jordan Love dropped it at the last second. That's a split second. There's nothing you can really do about it. At the end of the day, he was shot in there like a missile, and he was going to take something out. And honestly, I love the way Booker played in that game, Sean. He was running around trying to hurt somebody the whole game.
Yeah,
and you need players like that. The NFL football is a violent sport. You need players to play violent. I love the way Booker stepped up to that occasion.
He had two of them, though, guys. That can alter a game in a very bad way in the future. You gotta put a cap.
Well, it altered that game in a very bad way, Brandon. But I mean, at the end of the day,
it's
football, and those things are going to happen.
Because the quarterback was injured, we're looking back on it like, oh yeah, you hit him, you got him, but like. Let's say you're trying to make a stop at the end of a football game to win, and that guy gives 15 yards to a team that's trying to get a score. It's a different story. It's just you have 2 in 1 game. It's something you got to talk to the kid about for sure, man.
Well, Austin Booker's developing as well, Brandon. You know, he's
that's my point. That's my point.
He hasn't even played a full season.
Got to have that conversation.
Full health. No, of course they're going to be coaching it, but at the end of the day, you don't want to take away that energy and fire he was playing. I don't want to take that away.
You just want to harness, man. You don't want to give up 30 yards on 2 plays.
Yeah, but the Bears were penalized over what was it, 90 yards in this
10 times for 105 yards.
Yeah, 105 yards. That's just not disciplined football. And in this, again, they've been playing disciplined football for a number of weeks, and here they come today. And maybe it was they were amped up. Everyone was playing a little bit harder, you know. And again, I'm not faulting Austin Booker, and I'm not sure after the coaches watch that play and watch that idiot dunk his head that they're going to say, hey, man, just do this, make this slight adjustment. Hopefully it doesn't happen. I don't know how that could be avoided if your quarterback's going to bend down.
Nothing he could have done, Sean.
There's nothing.
Well, one thing he could have done, Sean. He could have not led with the top of his head. You keep your eyes up. You look at your target zone.
Yeah, that's what I said during the game. Lead with your shoulder, not the crown of your helmet. Now, listen, guys.
You got to keep your eyes up.
It was a penalty. There's no doubt about it, because if it happened to Caleb Williams from Micah Parsons, I would say it's a penalty. The only thing is, a lot of Packers fans are coming out saying that was a dirty hit. He in no way, shape, or form was that a dirty hit. He wasn't thinking to himself, "No, I'm going to knock Jordan Love out of the game with a concussion." He was thinking to himself, "I'm going to hit Jordan Love as hard as I can,
as hard as I fucking can,
to make sure he remembers that." For sure, that's football. That's football. That's the same thing you saw that when Nixon came across and hit DJ Moore in the back, and that play that was 30 yards away from the actual ball. I mean, these guys hate each other, and they were going to do this all game no matter what. It didn't matter, and it was happening on both sides. Every hit was violent, just like in the first game when Monangai knocked the paint chips off of Cooper's helmet. This is just this rivalry. It's back. These teams absolutely despise each other. You saw it with the handshake between Matt LaFleur and Ben Johnson at the end of the
What
game.
handshake?
Yeah, that could not be more disingenuous. This is what this is going to be, and that's what I was saying to Steve earlier. Like, Steve, it's not over. It's just getting started, because for the last 15 years, this hasn't been a rivalry. It's been an ass whooping. Now it's a rivalry, and I think Packers fans, coaches, players alike are starting to wake up a little bit and go, right, man, as long as 18's on the other sideline, these aren't going to be easy games.
Steve.
These aren't going to be easy games. They're just not going to be easy anymore. And if you ever
the DJ hit
listen,
was a lot dirtier. The one that we showed at the top of this show, that
Hell
was way
yeah,
dirtier
dude.
than the Austin
if you ever listen to, I don't know if you guys listen to Wayne Larrivee. He's obviously he's a Packers play-by-play guy. He talks about the Packers, but he used to work for the Bears.
Former Bears.
Yeah, back in the day, he used to work for the Bears. But anybody who knows Wayne knows that there's times where he sounds completely biased, and he just picks on the Bears, and all he does is basically talk shit. And after this game, he came out and said, man, Caleb Williams is legit. He's developing. He's winning while he's developing. He's only going to get better. His God-given talent can't be denied. And if he continues to get better at all in any way, shape, or form, and this is the Packers play-by-play announcer, he says, Packers fans, look out, because this kid is scary. He's
Didn't Wayne
absolutely
Larrivee
scary.
say he'd rather have Caleb
The thing
over
he said,
Love?
the thing he said I like the most, I don't know, God, did he say that?
Didn't he say that too?
He'd take Caleb over Love.
I just heard a big portion of it on 670. They didn't play the whole thing of him talking. That was basically what happened. Is somebody called in and was saying, I live in Green Bay, and Wayne Larravee's a piece of shit, and he just talks shit about the Bears. And the 670 guys refuted that. They were like, no, actually, he was giving the Bears a lot of credit today. A lot. He was giving them a lot of credit today. So
the thing that he said that I like the most is Caleb is focused on growth and development. He's not so, and you know, obviously it's easy to think, but like you're focused on the season and what's going on around you and trying to get a playoff seed, but he's still very focused on the things that he knows he's not doing his best. And that is the sign of the ultimate competitor. I do want to allude to what Dustin said earlier, man, with the concerns. We finished watching that game and you're thinking, man, the Bears got to get better at this and that. It's the same old familiar
James is talking about
concerns.
it right here
It's
too.
the same old familiar concerns to me. These guys don't play good defense unless they're taking the ball away. Their pass rush is lack thereof. And their offense falls flat for entire quarters at a time.
here's what I don't understand
And
about
these are
that,
the
though.
things they crawl back into games, and that's great. But you got to wonder how good you'd be and how far ahead you might be of some of the best teams in the NFL if you're playing 4 quarters of the football you know you can play. So,
You guys, the defense played a better game.
This has been the
on Saturday.
conversation
They-
all year, Brandon.
they
and
played a
you've been
better
on
I
game.
the
know.
opposite
That's
side
what
of
I'm
it.
saying. The
played
familiar
a-
concerns. It's all the same stuff.
I
We
understand,
talked
man.
about it all
Everybody
year.
keeps out and saying the Bears defense
Team
sucks. The
shown
Bears
us who they
defense-
are.
I understand that Jordan Love and their guys, but they allowed 16 points, and they played a much better game than they did two weeks ago in Green Bay. Much better game.
and I'll say-
There wasn't 50 explosive plays. There was the one play to Romeo Doubs for the touchdown. Outside of that, Christian Watson wasn't running all over the field or doing whatever the hell he wanted. The Bears
Well,
actually
Jordan Love
seemed to
going
lock
out
it
when he
down a
did
little. Yeah,
played a
sure,
part
but
in
Jordan
that
Love
route,
wasn't having
for sure.
tons of success before he got knocked out
No,
of the
but
game.
he didn't
guys.
play very
Let's
much
just-
They
either.
allowed
had 2
16
drives.
points, guys.
Let's just say this.
Come onto a
Let's just
podcast
say
like, man,
this.
the Bears defense sucks after allowing 16 points to division
Hey.
rival Packers, who just beat them, scoring 20.
They made crucial stops in the red
It's an
zone. Kyle.
improvement.
Crucial
Yeah,
stops.
then
in the
that's
red
what they
zone.
are. They're a
it's
third down
bend, don't
defense.
break,
They take
right?
the ball away. That's what they
It's bend,
are.
don't break
This is
until
what
you
they
break.
are, and they're
That's
going
the-
to be
that's the
this. This
reality
is
of
what they
that.
are because they don't have the roster to not be anything else but bend, don't break. That's
And
what
when
the Bears are
when
going to be for
Packers
the rest of the
fans-
season.
When Packers fans sit here and put
Yeah,
this
I'm
on the
fine with it,
injury to
And
back your
that's-
point
that's the
here,
defensive block.
Kyle. If you want to blame injuries didn't play a part in you guys going 0 for 5 in the red zone. You were able to move the ball, but the Bears have done what they've done to teams all year. Bend, don't break, to back up what Kyle
Stopped you
is
on
saying
4th
here.
down, held you to
Yes.
field goals, pulled a fumble
And hey,
out of Josh
you're saying,
Jacobs'
oh,
arms.
well, if this fumble didn't happen, well, fumbles are
Well,
part
we
of the
made
game.
that shit happen.
Like, that
Nation
shit
Wright
happens.
pulled that shit right out of there.
How
Right
about,
out of there.
how about
That's a
Packers
play
fans
by the
going on here?
Bears.
How about Packers fans going on social media and saying, well, you guys didn't win. The Packers beat themselves. Oh, yeah, you beat yourselves? You guys, we drove down the field on the first drive of the game and snapped the ball over Kyle Monungai's head. He was about to run that ball
Well,
down
and-
his throats into
and
the end
I
zone
wanna
and
say
punch you in the
this.
mouth.
I-
The
we
Bears beat themselves more than any team in the
The
NFL.
Bears were beating themselves that entire game,
we-
Kyle.
we-
That was my point to start. Yeah, you could, because Steve was saying that. Steve said we beat ourselves more than you guys beat us. The Bears were beating themselves
I'm
for
not
that
just referring to Steve.
entire game.
Steve, I love
No,
Steve.
I just want to reply
Yeah.
to any Packers fan saying that.
both
Yeah,
teams played
both
sloppy
teams
games.
did that shit to
They both
themselves.
played sloppy
Well,
games.
That's part of
and-
NFL
They
in
were
football.
both
regards-
amped up. They were both too amped up.
In regards to the injury, you can focus if you're a Packers fan on Jordan Love leaving that game. But the difference was Caleb Williams didn't, and he was playing the same defense that you put out there in play one, your starting defense, and he fucking torched you in moments that all you had to do was cover. Like Caleb Williams exploited you. You blitzed him, and he made you pay for it. And that isn't a fluke. And that's why Ben Johnson started his post-game speech with those very words, because you're going to hear Malik Willis this, which, by the way, the guy started a handful, like 6-7 games in the NFL now. So you're better off than some teams are. You're not starting that kid from New York, whatever the hell his name is. I don't even know, Brady Wood or something. But the Bears did what they did on offense to win that football game more so than they did on defense. So you can't really say Malik Willis was the difference, honestly. Caleb torched
Malik
that
Willis
team.
took him right down the
Malik
field.
Willis is better than Jordan Love.
That guy's
better than Jordan Love, dude.
Sean, that guy
His feet
said
were
that
destroying the Bears.
On that
legs were
podcast.
destroying them.
That guy said we're going to make the Packers' game plan should be to make Caleb Williams sit in the pocket and make throws to beat you.
We're talking about Ben Brust and that other faggot.
Yeah, and that with the other gentleman. Yeah, that's exactly what they tried. They did. They brought the heat. They tried, and Caleb found the weakness. So like,
hey,
it's a bad game plan for Caleb Williams. He's pretty damn good against the pressure, man.
Hey, it's a Chicago man. It's brand new. What's going on?
Thanks for joining the show.
Man.
Appreciate it.
Chicago man.
Yo. Yes, Caleb is the GOAT.
Oh, that was a little okay.
Chicago man, what's going on?
Caleb, you guys, I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but listen, we talked on the show numerous times about his completion percentage. Obviously, Dustin and Vernon were like, hey, don't worry about it. He's just a work in progress. I'm like, hey, I'm not worried about it right now, but it's definitely something Bears fans should consider and that you expect him to get better. I'll tell you this, man. In the last 4 weeks, you talk about the Cole Kmet touchdown to win the Eagles game. You talk about the Zacchaeus catch or throw and the Cole Kmet throw in the Green Bay game. You talk about the DJ Moore throw in the Browns game, and then you talk about the Walker and DJ Moore touchdown in the Packers game. If Caleb Williams has 2 or 3 of those phenomenal, unbelievable, impossible throws every game, that completion percentage is becoming more and more less important.
This is the point I've been making all season with this conversation, Kyle, is like when you're getting those explosives, which is what Ben Johnson wants, and Caleb is coming through when you need him most. I don't give a shit about the completion percentage. I really don't.
And it will naturally be lower because he's taking shots.
100%. And you have a really good run game to supplement that, and Caleb has progressed very well under the play action, and his intended air yards and completed air yards are some of the tops in the league. So like where he's wanting to get the ball to, that's where it's going. And he is taking a lot of deep shots. And at the end of the day, man, the guy makes throws that nobody else in the NFL can make. He'll make a throw like he made last night to DJ Moore. So here, last week, he made the best throw in the whole NFL season to DJ Moore in that Browns game. This week he topped it and made the best throw of the NFL season to DJ Moore to win the fucking game.
And
one of those throws is worth 6 throws from fucking Aaron Rodgers dinking and dunking it down the fucking field. It's worth 10 of those. I don't give a fuck about your completion percent.
PFF's top 3 rated throws on the season are the touchdown to Zacchaeus, the touchdown to DJ Moore in Cleveland, and now the touchdown to DJ Moore in Green Bay. Those are the top 3 rated throws.
I thought the touchdown
in the NFL.
Walker.
Caleb Williams.
Did you see the ball react to the wind?
And nobody can make those throws now. Nobody
to Walker.
Well, the fact that he was throwing that off his back.
The wind moves the ball on the pass to Walker. And I wonder, man, if it wasn't a guy who's as tall and lanky as he is, if that's a catch. But that was one hell of a pass, too, because did anybody else watching that pass thinking this thing is way over his head?
When he let it go, Brandon,
ball, like this is shit.
Brandon, when he let it go, I thought he was throwing it away.
Me too. I was like, this is gone. This is gone. And then it
I know, but it's just the
right
way it came out of his hands, and he moonballed it.
There was an unblocked defender like right in his face when he made that throw. I mean, this guy is doing stuff that most quarterbacks don't do.
The more you see him, the more you watch him play, the more you understand that, like Justin said, he makes these throws when it matters the most. But it's not just that, guys. I mean, even if it's a 4-yard run, it's the most important 4 yards of the entire, that 4th down where he decided to just take that ball and carry it himself, where it was the most
after the holding
important
call
run of the
when he had run for the first down and they called the holding and then he had to do it again.
Well, and you know what really would bother me about
Know what
that?
you're talking
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but if you go rewatch the game if you got a chance, the Jordan Love run in the first quarter where Jordan Love picks up the first down, he clearly gives himself up before the yellow line, clearly, and they give him 2 yards across the yellow line.
Don't go
first
nowhere,
down.
Chicago man. Stay here.
Caleb Williams does the same
amongst
exact
friends.
thing. Does the same exact thing, and they give him they put the ball where he was giving himself up. Like, you can't, dude, you gotta officiate the game the same way for both teams. Like, listen, if you're going to call Jordan Love's a first down, and I think it should be, because I think this thing where they're like, oh, well, the second you look like you're about to slide, or we think you're about to slide, that's where we're putting the ball. I think you should give them like a yard or two after that. Like, because especially if you're sliding head first. But just the fact that Caleb is starting to make the right decisions when it matters the most, fourth quarter, third down, and he's running the ball if he has to. He's making sure that the ball is in his hands. That's what upset me about the first drive of the game. And I looked at Sean and said this. I said, hey, why? You know, Caleb Williams is here. He's become this absolute stud in clutch situations outside of that one throw in Green Bay. And here we are. We drive down the field, and you guys are putting the ball straight in Kyle Nunguy's hand with this weird play design where they snap the ball underneath Colston Levin's, like whoever it was.
You couldn't even see where he was snapping the ball to.
Put the ball in Caleb Williams' hands. Bro.
That was a big mistake.
Yeah, no, they kept showing Dahlman as if he should have this shame and pity, and I was like, I just thought the play was stupid. Honestly, I don't like
it. Was a
it wasn't to be executed.
It wasn't
yeah,
time for
it was going to be bad
like,
to begin with.
You don't do that in the first play on the first drive. You say
Scottish made a point. Scottish made a point here that I wanted to touch on, and since he brought it up, I'll show it right now. And I said this to you guys. Edmonds was awful yesterday, and you know he's coming back from IR, and it's his first game back. And like he was rusty, but he was taking terrible angles. He was over pursuing and then getting left behind. He missed so many opportunities at tackles in that game, but then he made a couple really big plays towards the end of the game. Like he was starting to get into the flow of it. I'm thinking he's going to take another week or two to get back into like the form he was in before he got hurt. But he was really bad in that game, and it cost the Bears on occasions. Especially
he was. But you know what, you guys, they talked about putting him on a snap count, and he played like 100% of the game. So like obviously they did not give him the time he needed to.
And as Jed points out, he made that key third down stop. He made some big plays towards the end. Like he was bad. He was bad all the way through. And then at the end,
I pointed it out to my buddy Jeff numerous times. I'm like, watch Edmonds take the wrong lane right here, the wrong gap right here. Watch this. And and Flex, I agree with you 100%. In that game, he had no gap discipline. But if you take the bigger sample size of this season, before Tremaine Edmonds got hurt, he was an app playing out of his mind. He wasn't missing gaps. He wasn't missing tackles. He was the Bears' most sure tackler. And then he got hurt. I mean, I think there's an adjustment period. You're talking about this guy was off of football for over a month. I think there's just an adjustment. And then he gets thrown back into Bears Packers on Saturday night primetime.
He held up okay. He got it together at the end of the game, like I said, but he was bad the whole time. Edwards did make the real big play of that game, putting down Malik Willis on that option. But Malik Willis thought he had him cooked.
Sean, what do you think about Edmonds, man?
I just think gotta knock the rust off, man.
Yeah, same way with Jalen Johnson, right?
Yeah, and Jalen Johnson's still recovering from not being up to par. So right now we got 2 games left to get to the playoffs. Let Edmonds get back up to game speed. And as Kyle touched on, the guy was fantastic before the injury. I fully expect him to return back to where he was. Just give him a couple weeks to get up. And like you guys say, start playing better towards the end of the game. So he's not really a big concern. You know, getting him back is actually a benefit, and I think as the weeks go by, he's going to be just fine. I'm not too concerned.
Were you guys upset that when Malik Willis came in and replaced Jordan Love, the Bears continued to play 2 deep safeties? I mean,
they should have been blitzing him. I texted that.
Guys, he's killing you. He's killing you. Move up. Move up. I love Dennis Allen, and I hate to harp because he's been so good for the Bears this season. But guys, Malik Willis is not Jordan Love. You don't need 2 deep safety. He's not going to throw many 50-yard passes. Maybe a couple here and there, but not a lot.
He beat him with his arm a few times. Yeah,
his legs are killing you.
His legs are a problem.
He looked like Jackson Dart all over again. I'm like, guys, you have to abandon the 2 deep safeties. You have to. This is not working. And the Bears continue to run it for over a quarter and a half. I'm like, dude, you guys, if I can see this,
that's Dennis Allen's thing, man. Those quarters, he's not going to stop. That's like literally.
But he's had games where he's blitzed 60% of the time too. I'm just saying those safeties, those quarter safeties playing as deep as they do. That's
He doesn't want to give up big plays. That's the whole design of his defense.
Yeah, Vizzo, his name is Kyler Gordon. He just can't.
His name
stay
is
healthy.
Kyler Gordon.
Yeah. And then Steve asked the question. Do you guys want to address that real quick? I think it's
Sure.
cool that
How far
J2K asked
Bears-
the question I wanted to touch on
How
real
far
quick
the
a
Bears
while
can
back.
go?
Brandon, go ahead.
J2K asked if we think that Caleb is throwing the ball away too soon and too often. And I think
no. Fuck no.
I think every quarterback is
No.
throws the ball away a few times a game, and I think as long as
Throw it
that
away like you got hit
is
68
making the
times.
impact it
He's
has.
holding
on
it
the-
till the last second possible.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if as long as it's making it the impact it has on the sack numbers, J2K, I think you'd appreciate that he might even throw it away a little too more than he should. But I agree with Dustin. If there's one thing Caleb Williams probably can't really be accused of is throwing away a ball away too soon.
He's holding on to it as long as he can to see if anything opens up.
You're like, all right, he's gonna get killed.
Samo agrees with J2K on that. I don't think so, man. Maybe
The
in that
sack
game.
numbers have come down a lot, and I'm okay with it if it means throwing the ball away too much, guys.
Yeah,
I mean, you
want
saw
my
Bo
quarterback.
Nix
I want
yesterday
a
hold the
healthy- I
ball
want
until his
Jordan
foot
Love.
was out of bounds to throw it
I
away.
think it's
Yeah, and you saw what happened to Jordan Love when he had
Yeah.
plenty of time to throw that ball away, and he got
Yeah.
concussed and knocked out of the
Yeah.
game. Like, if it means we lose a couple plays here and there, that Caleb Williams is knocked out for the season because some huge
Yeah,
hit,
I'm okay with
I'm
that.
all for it, bro. I'm all for it. Keep
Caleb
throwing it away
was
early. I
second-
don't give a shit, bro.
Caleb was second in the league a couple weeks ago. Last time I looked at throwaways, and I believe he's probably first now with the way he's been managing these games that way. I think it's an underrated part of his game, and it's not talked about enough in terms of his completion percentage as well, because it comes up about a couple 3 points when you add those back in. If he just takes a sack, but as Brandon said, his sack numbers have come down. He's been smart about throwing it away, and more consistently than not, he is holding it as long as he possibly can to try to find a play before he does throw it away. So I think Caleb
Sometimes
has
still
managed
too
that.
long. Sometimes
yeah,
still too long.
I think Caleb has managed
And
that
it's-
really
and it's
well this
usually
year.
not
I'm sure
even the-
Ben Johnson is very happy with that improvement in his game in the season.
And it's
I'm
usually
sure.
not even the tackle that he's avoiding. It's the boundary. That's usually
exactly.
what forces his hand when he does throw the ball, is he's just running out of space.
Thanks, Steve. We appreciate you, brother. Everybody,
Let's answer
please
Steve's question then.
hit that
How
like.
far do we think the Bears can go? Packers fan wants to know. Packers
As
fan
far,
Steve.
as far as they believe they can.
That's a weird.
I'm gonna say
The Super Bowl, then, that's where they believe, I'm sure.
one win in the playoffs.
Yeah, guys, the more I watch the Rams and Seahawks and the Bears, the more I think the Rams and Seahawks are better football teams than the Bears. But I think anything can happen on any given Sunday. So I think the Bears can go. So I think they're Super Bowl caliber football team right now? No, probably not.
No.
Me personally, no. But do I think they could tweak some things here and there, and maybe get Kyler Gordon back, maybe get Roma Dunze and Luther Burden back, and their team gets better and could become a Super Bowl contender in the next few weeks? Yeah, I do.
I think the Bears can go to the fucking Super Bowl the way
Yeah,
that they're playing.
me too.
I think the Bears can go to the
Me
Super
too.
and when you watch the way the Rams and the Seahawks played, both of those teams made some critical mistakes as well. No team is perfect right now. No team is perfect. The Rams are the closest thing to it for sure.
Yeah, the Rams are polished.
And they lost.
polished.
They lost the
They're
game in which Sam Darnold threw 2 interceptions, Kyle. So imagine the kind of mistakes you got to make in order to
Yeah, you don't pick up a backwards
Yeah.
2-point conversion. That's how
Exactly.
you lose football
Well,
games.
that's part of it. You know, they also allowed another 2-point conversion in that game. They didn't come up with plays when they needed to. They lost to the Panthers.
Listen,
Every
I'm not
team is beatable, and this Bears team, as I said, it's not quantifiable. It's not measured by statistics. They got resilience. They got grit. They are never out of a fucking game. And you watch Caleb Williams, he's the coldest dude on the field, no matter what. When everyone else in that stadium was jumping up and down when he let that pass go and it got completed to DJ Moore, he stood there like, yep, that's what
I'll tell you what, guys. I'll tell you this right now.
This team has something not a lot of other teams have.
If the Bears run into a team that can run the ball like Josh Allen can, they're in trouble, because Jackson Dart and Malik Willis absolutely killed them on 3rd and 4th down
and
with their feet. If the Bears can't figure that
Stafford
shit out,
ain't doing that.
they're
Stafford ain't
in big
doing that.
trouble.
Darnold ain't doing that. Brock Purdy ain't doing that. Who are the best teams in the NFC, Kyle? And which quarterback is going to run all over the Bears?
Brock Purdy can't. He's
But he ain't doing it like that. Jalen Hurts is the guy you're worried about. Jalen Hurts, if you're talking about that.
I watched the Lions game the following night.
Yeah, why not us, J2K? I agree.
And Chris Collinsworth was talking about the Bears-Niners game because they're both having impossible seasons. Niners was a salary dump year. They still played good football. Bears, and then he goes into the Bears, the takeaway rate and the coming back in less than 2 minutes in a fourth quarter, down by however much. He's like, it's just an impossible year. It could never happen again. Think about like this stuff keeps happening. Like, why? So when we talk about like, well, will they beat the Seahawks? Will they beat? Well, they'll take the ball away from Sam Darnold. You better fucking believe that.
I'll just say this.
Will they beat the Rams? Well, if Stafford has to throw the ball 35 times, they're going to take the fucking ball away from Matt Stafford. Believe that. The stuff that you think is not sustainable is what the Bears are going to keep winning football games doing.
Kyle, I agree with you. The Rams look dominant at times, but then you look up at the scoreboard and they lost on Thursday in overtime to a team that they had beat. They were up 2 scores.
I think anything can happen in the NFL, guys.
Exactly.
But I just don't want to get too far ahead of myself here. Like, are the Bears
I've
good?
said this time and time again. Sean, you remember.
I think we all agree the Bears should have lost that
morning.
football game. I mean, how many miracles can you get in one game? And I'm not complaining. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to apologize for it. But
let's talk about miracles.
If you play like the Bears did for most of the game on Saturday, 9 times out of 10 in the playoffs, you're going to lose.
Onside kick, 8% success rate all season. But the Bears executed a perfect onside kick. Sean,
the Bears didn't execute a perfect onside kick.
Yes, they did.
Romeo Dobbs fumbled the ball.
No, and then Noah Sewell and Hardy jumped on his ass and knocked him off.
That's that's their job. But you can't say it was a perfect kick.
Their job.
He had the ball in his hands and he dropped it.
Yeah, Dustin, he did have the ball in his hands.
He had the ball in his hands and he dropped it.
That's what you need to have happen on plays like that.
Perfect onside
but the Bears made the play.
And the face mask on Caleb Williams.
What are you implying though? What is that, guys? What are you saying?
That was a perfectly executed onside kick, guys.
It's luck.
They did it exactly as they were coached. And
there was a lot of luck in that Packers game on Saturday.
What is luck?
You need luck in
there was a lot of luck.
But at the end of the day, the Bears also executed.
All right, guys.
I'll just say this.
Define luck.
I'll say this since I haven't been able to say it. If the Bears continue to get behind, like Kyle's saying, it could come back and rear its ugly head like it did 2 weeks ago in Green Bay. You cannot keep getting behind against good teams and praying and hoping you're going to come back. You have to play solid football for 60 minutes. I understand it's been sustainable against bad teams. They weren't behind against the Eagles. They had to come back against the Packers the first time. Didn't work out for them. The other teams they've been behind are not in the playoffs. They're not good football teams. As the competition gets better and you play shitty 55 minutes, you're not going to be able to continuously come back in the playoffs. That's just where I am. You guys can disagree.
I agree, and that doesn't mean, Sean, that doesn't mean you're not a Bears fan. That doesn't mean you hate the Bears.
That would make him not a Bears fan. The counterpoint to that would be that the Seahawks were down 2 scores on Thursday night to the number 1 team in the NFC in a game which their quarterback threw 2 interceptions, and everybody said Darnold is a choke artist. Then he came back and threw 2 touchdowns that got him right back in the game and won it. So, like, that any team can do that. And you're going to have to overcome shit like that to win games in the playoffs. Teams do it every year to go to the Super Bowl.
I want to say this. I said this on Sunday.
And no team has more experience at it than the Chicago Bears right now.
All right, well, Dustin, so you have to pick a Super Bowl winner right now. Gun to your head. You're picking the Bears.
I don't know, man. I think the Bears can beat any team,
and it's okay. It's okay if you're not.
I think the Bears can beat any team in the NFL.
I think
I'm not ready to pick.
I think if they played the Rams 10 times,
that's a good question, J2K. Nobody on that side can.
Can the Bears beat the Rams? Yes, but the Rams beat the Bears.
Shame on us. You think this panel would have learned by now? You got to stop saying this. They're not good enough to do this, and they're not good enough to do that because they keep fucking doing it. They weren't good enough to be a playoff team. They weren't good enough to be a playoff team before the season started. They're there now, guys. They're not good enough to win this division. They possibly will.
I simply just said you can't keep getting behind against good teams.
My point is, every time somebody says they can't do something, they're doing it. And my point is, and I want to say this because
Brandon froze on us. No, and again, I wasn't saying the Bears aren't good enough. As we've talked about, the parity in the NFL this year is humongous. But as the field shrinks, you have to be more consistent against good teams. And you also cannot forget that Caleb Williams being behind, Xavier McKinney dropped an interception that was in his hands. These are mistakes that you can't have. You have to play solid. You have to play discipline. You can't have 105 yards worth of penalties in the playoffs.
That's what we're talking about, Sean. Because the Bears had limited themselves to 3 penalties per game for like a 5-week stretch. They had really corrected that. And then Saturday, they're shooting themselves in the foot left and right with those penalties, 10 of them for 105 yards, and those things become hard to recover from. You can be down to a team, but if you're getting those penalties back to back to back like that, you're going to have a hard time recovering. The Bears got to clean that up. But Sean, they've shown that they can clean that up because they have done it. This team is very well coached and they execute very well. They do.
He asked the question. Hold on, Brandon. He asked the question where I think the Bears can go right now. I think they can win a playoff game. I don't think they can make it to the Super Bowl. Prove me wrong. I'd be happy for that. Go ahead.
Okay, but why do you say you can't go to the Super Bowl? Who do you think is just hands down better than them in the NFC?
I think the Bears would have a tremendously hard time covering Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams.
There's teams that are more
the Bears would have
and they make less mistakes than the Chicago Bears do, because the Rams are a veteran team that play like a veteran team. The Bears snapped the ball over Kyle Monangai's head on the first drive of the game. That's the difference. That's where I think the difference is.
No, that was a bad play call. The
Bears are young and they're learning and they're making mistakes and they're learning while they're making mistakes. The Rams are a team with Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Matthew Stafford. These guys have been there 1,000 times. They play mistake-free football, man. They didn't have Devontae Adams against the Seahawks. If they did, they probably win that game. Listen, I'm not saying the Bears can't win the Super Bowl. I think they can. I think anybody can. And this year's in particular, because there's no team that's like the Chiefs from the last 3 years. But at the same time, if I was a betting man, they were like, you have to put $100,000 on all the money you've ever made on one team to win the Super Bowl. Right now, guys, I'm not putting it on the Bears. Sorry. I'm probably going to put it on the Bills.
If somebody asked you, would you put all the money? If somebody asked you to put all the money in the world that the Commanders would be in the NFC Championship game last year, this time this season, would you say yes?
With this time of the season, I probably would.
This time of the season,
I could have seen them in the NFC Championship.
What I wanted to say, their holes were I think ran over.
I think this Bears team is much better than that Washington team. But
I don't disagree with that either.
What I wanted to say is this defense, right? I mean, you clearly have woes. I talked about it, guys, after the Browns game. The defensive line is just not talented enough. It's not. But they still but the Bears are better at taking the ball away than any other team is at protecting it. And that's why this defense continues to succeed, because the things that they're not good at, the places where they need more talent, it's still the same as it's been. So you can say, like, the defense is going to have to at some point start getting pressure. I don't think they will. I don't think they're ever going to. I think they're still going to take the ball away from teams at a high rate. So that's my point, is they're not going to fix the woes they have at this juncture of the season when it comes to roster holes.
They figured out how to work with them and around them.
Exactly. They're going to keep doing the shit that worked out for them.
In that vein, Brandon, let me ask this question to all of you guys, because you talk about the turnovers, and really, obviously, the biggest key to all those turnovers has been Nahshon Wright this season. Nahshon Wright pulled that ball right out of Josh Jacobs' arms, and Josh Jacobs don't give the ball up very easy. Nahshon Wright, I think, might be the best story in the NFL this year. I think he might be one of the best, like, practice squad guys that have become a starter that I can remember in recent memory. And the conversation keeps happening where it's like, can we afford to re-sign him? Should we re-sign him? Do we want to re-sign him? Should Tyreek start over him? And I've been saying no to that question this entire time. Tyreek should not start over him. You need those turnovers on the field. But I'm asking you guys, do you do whatever you got to fucking do to re-sign Nahshon Wright? Because I do. I would now and not even think about it.
I don't know, man. That's a little too far in the future for me. I'm focused on this Bears-Packers game.
Come on, man. Do you want Nahshon Wright on this team? Do you want to keep him as a continued member of this roster?
How much is he asking for, Dustin?
I don't think it's going to be too much.
$10 million a year? You sign a Nahshon Wright? $10 million a year?
How much?
Fuck yes. Nahshon Wright, $10 million a year?
Yes, I am.
I don't know, man.
I am.
I don't know.
And if he has the same season next year, but without all the takeaways, and he's still giving up huge, massive fucking plays, are you happy with your 10 years?
Yeah, if the turnovers go away, then his coverage is lackluster. Now he becomes a liability, 100%.
Hey, but really quick.
He's a ball hawk, dude. He's a ball hawk. I want him on this team.
The Bears are in the mix, and that's exciting. And I'm not sitting here saying the Bears can't make it to the Super Bowl. I'm just looking at it realistically and saying there's two very good teams in the NFC that will be tremendous matchup.
Sean, what if they end up with home field advantage? What if the Seahawks and the Rams both lose another game and the Bears beat the Niners and the Lions to finish out the season, and they have the number one seed and the fucking playoffs come through Chicago all the way to the Super Bowl? What do you say then? What if that happens? Because that's more of a possibility now than it was just a couple weeks ago.
Well, sure, but the Bears for 55 minutes of that game were in Chicago and did not look very good. Right?
But they won the game. But they won the game. So, but that's not
Sure.
answering my question. Do you feel better about that if they
I
are
would
a
feel
home
better
team?
going. I would feel better playing either
The
Seattle
Rams coming to
or
Chicago?
the Rams in Chicago. I would 100%.
Can I ask you guys this? Do you think that the Rams and Seahawks are teams that would make the things the Bears do in order to win football games unsustainable? Like, will the Bears still take the ball away from Sam Darnold and Matt Stafford?
Matt Stafford is better than Jordan Love and Malik Willis,
like they did Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts. They did take the ball away from those
Stafford,
two.
No-look touchdown
They took
pass.
the ball away from those two quarterbacks. Those two guys were in the top 5 for not throwing the ball away. That's what I'm saying. I think the Bears
disagree, Steve.
do it better.
I disagree with that too.
I think the Bears take the ball away better than the teams who do a really good job protecting it are doing. So,
But the Rams don't turn the ball over.
Right, but neither did the Eagles. Neither did Jordan Love. He threw an interception to the Bears. Jalen Hurts hadn't thrown a pick in Philly in like 12 games or something like that, man. The Bears took the ball away. That's my point. I think that they're going to sustain it because I think they're better at taking the ball away than teams are protecting it, no matter who it is they're playing. And I think they can take the ball away from a guy like Stafford who throws the ball 35 times a game. I think they could take
Stafford's the one. And listen,
I think you can take the ball away from Darnold. I think you take the ball
100%. I don't care. Listen, I know you backed them up, and you were sending these texts about Darnold coming back after I trashed him. Darnold still sucks, and in big games, that guy's going to suck. He had one shining moment. He's had one shining moment. What did he do? What did he do? He choked against Detroit, and then he choked in the playoffs. And
He's talking to you
again
Dustin.
because Sam Darnold isn't just a guy.
Darnold threw the 2 touchdowns to get him back in that game and win that game, Sean.
I want Sam Darnold.
Listen,
give me Sam Darnold in the playoffs. The Bears would pick him off.
I'm fine with playing Sam Darnold. I'd much rather play Sam Darnold in the playoffs than fucking Matt Stafford.
My point exactly.
But to what Brandon is saying, you can say Matt Stafford don't give the ball away, but you can't also say out of the same side of your mouth the Bears don't take it away. Something's got to give there, Matt. We continue to say this every week. The Bears find ways to generate turnovers, so
no matter who they're playing,
their identity. That's who they are.
This. When you ask me about luck, the Bears going into this game are 1-4 in games this season in which they got one or less.
Yes,
turnovers.
Puka will
one takeaway.
Have a big game against.
They got one takeaway in this game, and they barely survived.
Well, do you count that onside? Do you count that onside kick?
They have one takeaway in this game based on the game stats.
Jalen Johnson. That's not.
Do you count the 4th down stops? 2 of them that they had. That's a turnover. You know
sure,
what I'm saying? They're generating turnovers still.
And Puka just
those aren't takeaways, but they are turnovers.
I mean, they're
I don't care.
all over the field.
Care.
He's had 225 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I'll take Jalen Johnson, dude.
You saying that the Bears are just going to shut down Puka Nacua? Come on,
fuck man. No, they aren't. Puka Nacua will run all over this Bears defense, and the Bears could still win the game.
No, he said he'll eat up our DBs. I think Jalen Johnson could take Puka Nacua.
He'll eat up everybody.
He could take Puka Nacua
all I'm saying is, there's 14 teams.
Didn't Jalen Johnson allow like 1 game's worth of receiving last year?
14 teams that make the playoffs. All right. What I'm saying is, do I think the odds that the Bears are greater than the other 13 teams in the playoffs, or that one of those teams is greater than them? I think the odds are smaller that the Bears are better than all 13 of those teams. Now, I know what you're about to say. Any given team can win on any given Sunday. It's not about who has the better roster. I get it. I totally get it. But I'll tell you this. I do think, and I know you guys, Burn's going to say the same thing he always says. Well, man, they keep proving they can, but yeah, they proved it against Green Bay that they don't come back in every game. Sometimes that is going to bite you in the ass, and you're going to have a late game where you don't make it. It doesn't happen. So if they continue to do this, where we're going to play every game from behind and we're going to be trailing and with 2 minutes left in the quarter and 7 of those games. If they do that in all 4 playoff games or 3 playoff, however long it takes to get the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl, I don't think they're winning all 4 of those games because the competition is just much better than the Giants and the Saints and the Browns. It's just much better competition. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility. I just don't think it's likely.
Do you believe the Bears team that would play in week 1 of the wild card round of the playoffs, right? So 2 games for the remainder of the season, then you got another week and you're in the playoffs.
Unless they have home field advantage.
Do you think that's the same Bears team that you're going to watch, that you watched this week?
Well, first of all, Brennan, I think defensive line is the same. Yes. Second of all, Brennan, I think that people keep acting like the Bears are about to get healthy. Well, we've been saying that for just 12 weeks now, guys. They're going to get Tremaine Evans back and they're going to be fine. Oh, Kyler Gordon's out. Oh, they're going to get Kyler Gordon back. They're going to be fine. Oh, Jalen Johnson's out. Oh, they're going to get.
I just meant, don't you think they're progressing week by week to a better football team?
I think the players on the field are. Sean asked me 2 weeks ago on Wednesday. Sean asked me, What is the biggest hurdle the Bears are facing this season? Everybody in the chat and Jason all said the defensive line, which great answer. Obvious answer.
Has been my answer since
sooner or later missing
started.
Rome Odunze and Luther Burden and Kyler Gordon. And sooner or later, that is you guys. There's only 53 men on the roster, and you can't just assume that the Bears backups are going to beat the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen in the Super Bowl. That's just not highly likely.
That's not what I asked you though. What I asked you though is how good could this team be from where they
James,
are now?
I understand that, but the Bears have 250 games missed due to injury, well more than anybody else in the NFL. With the Bears and the Niners, it's a little bit more prominent than it is every other team in the NFL. We can't have a healthy player for 3 weeks. Am I wrong, guys?
The Bears have overcome it all, and I have faith that they will continue to because of the coaching, because of the next man up mentality they have.
When you get back to Nick McLeod,
can I make
you're in trouble?
Yeah,
you're in trouble.
No doubt. But McLeod also surprised me and made some plays in that game. All of these guys are stepping up because they are being coached properly. They are being put in the right position to succeed, and their strengths are being, accented by what Dennis Allen is doing with the defense and what Ben Johnson is doing with the offense. You've had a rookie that was drafted as playing a right tackle in fucking college. It stepped into left tackle in the middle of the season and just progressively gets better every week. So Brandon's point is that these guys just continue to get better every week, and you will see them continue to be better going into the playoffs.
Sure,
so the team that just beat the Packers on Saturday is going to be a better team when they go into the playoffs. They are.
Because you guys can sit here and keep talking about how the Bears are going to be better and the Bears have overcome this, and I could keep sitting here and talking about how if the Bears do, and at the end of the day, all we can do is wait till the playoffs. And if the Bears get knocked off,
same argument. At the end of the day, I just think the Bears are going to go to the fucking go to the Super Bowl.
Kyle,
sure. If they don't, we're going to have this conversation
Kyle,
again. If they do go to the Super Bowl, we're going to have this conversation
Kyle,
again. So
the reason I asked you,
it's a waiting game now, guys.
The reason I asked you is
I have no reason to doubt this team anymore.
Jesus,
I have no reason to doubt this.
The reason I asked you is the same argument. That's why I asked you. Because you and Sean are saying they need to play better football. They can't be this team. They got to play better football. I just asked you, what if they're the best team they can fucking be by the first week of the playoffs? It's the same argument. I wanted you to say that's the team. That was my expectation.
Yeah,
that's what makes them a Super Bowl contender. So even if I tell you they progress into the team that you guys are telling me needs to play 60 minutes of football, they're still not a Super Bowl football team, is what you're saying, because of the roster they have. That's what. So
they have limitations.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. I just said
I'm asking. It was a straightforward question.
Yes, I've said this 3 times now. Sean, have I not? Anybody can win the Super Bowl. Sean, do you hear me say that? Anybody this year can win the Super Bowl.
Right,
Anybody.
I get that.
The likelihood that they
I'm asking your honest
is not
opinion.
as high for me as it is for you guys.
That's the neutral answer. Give me what I'm asking you.
Likelihood.
Can the Bears reach that progression that makes them Super Bowl worthy?
They already are. They already are, bro.
Can I answer that question, Brandon?
They're 11 football teams.
The Bears could
win football team.
Let me answer this question because the way what this team has shown us they are and who they are and how they come through in big moments, no matter fucking what, really. They might not ever play their best football, the football that we're going to see them play a year or two down the line this entire season, and they could still go to the fucking Super Bowl. They might not play their best ball at all for the rest of this season. We won't see it maybe, and they could still beat any team in these fucking playoffs.
And it's just as big of a likelihood that they played like they did for the first 3 quarters against the Packers and they lose. It's just the same. It's the same likelihood.
Well, 100%. So Kyle's pointing out the fact that the way that the Bears do play football, there's high variability, and it can go either way.
They're not the Chiefs.
But the one thing that you can't account for in that, Brandon, is the Bears' resiliency. They just don't ever stop.
But just to be like, there's no other team in the playoffs. Like the Rams aren't resilient. That's to me. That's just
the Rams have not been in the positions the
they
Bears
don't have to be resilient.
Now, that's because they've been better.
That's
because they've executed better. But then the Bears also have that as an advantage because they've been in those situations. And there's going to be a lot more of those situations in the playoffs. And the Rams were just in one on Thursday night, and they came up short in that game, where I believe a team like the Bears would have come up on top like they did on Saturday.
Justin, who's the best quarterback?
Those moments matter.
Who's the best quarterback the Bears have beaten this season? Name me the best quarterback the Bears have played this season. Beaten.
Well, they beat Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's one of the best quarterbas in football.
All right, and we all know that the Cowboys at the beginning of the season, their defense was absolute trash, and everybody beat the shit out of them. That's how they started 1-4.
They beat Jaden Daniels earlier this year. They beat. They didn't have Lamar Jackson.
I don't think
Jaden
Daniels has proven shit.
They lost to Jordan Love. They lost to Jared Goff. They beat JJ McCarthy.
So
I mean,
Jalen
they
Hurts is
played the
probably
teams
your
on their
best win,
schedule.
right? Jalen Hurts is probably your best win, correct? Probably. If you had to,
Kyle, you just kind of glossed over the point I was making, though. Like those situations matter.
What I'm saying
they
is
do.
both
You got to give that
points
some
apply.
credit.
Both
They
points
do.
apply is what I'm saying. That's what I'm
do.
saying. Like you guys, once again, I would be happy to if I was like, I'm not putting a bet on the Bears to win a Super Bowl, and then somebody came up to me and 2 months from now was like, "Dumbass, you should have put a bet on the Bears to win the Super Bowl." I'd be the happiest guy in the world. What I'm saying is, if I put a bet on the Bears to win the Super Bowl, I'm not like overly confident in it. I'm not like, this is a guaranteed fact. This is Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and Andy Reid
Of course
from 2 years
not.
ago. That's not.
This
how
isn't that type of year, though. Kyle.
Can they win? Yes.
This is the most parity we've seen in the NFL in a long time.
Is Vegas going to make the Bears the front runners to win the Super Bowl before the season ends? No.
No, fuck that. They will never.
No.
But that's their advantage. They are an underdog. They're going to be an
They
underdog.
won't even be favored to win the division next year.
They weren't favored to win the division until they basically sealed it on Saturday night. So this team will be counted out in that way for the rest of this season, and that is part of their advantage as well.
I think some of that could be attributed. I think some of that could be attributed to how the Bears play. I think
100%.
I think the NFL is like, guys, this is just not going to last forever. This isn't going to last forever. You can't just come back in every single game all season and have a bad defense, the defensive line that doesn't rush the quarterback, and Matthew Stafford stands in the pocket for 12 seconds with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams running around, and you guys win a Super Bowl. But now maybe they could. Maybe somebody tips the ball at the line of scrimmage twice against Stafford and he throws 2 pick sixes. I don't know. That's the great thing about sports, right? You never know what's going to happen.
There's a point.
But if you ask me to think logically and to pick a team to win the Super Bowl, I'm not picking the Bears.
What I'm saying is that what the Bears have done this season has defied logic, Kyle.
100%,
and so I am just accepting that at this point.
100%.
I
love this
my
team.
heart. I am going with my heart, not my brain on this, because what this team has showed me is like that shit shouldn't have happened, but it just fucking happened. So I'm with
this team is special. They're special. They have something the Bears team hasn't had in a very long time, guys. They have for this togetherness. They're like a brotherhood. Like you even heard Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson even kind of took a little dig at the crowd there. I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but he was like, yeah, the crowds are going through the ebbs and flows, ups and downs. They kind of rot of it the third quarter, but we weren't. We stayed the course. We knew we had a chance to win that game. Like he almost took a shot at them. It's because it's like this brotherhood, man. They're like this frat, and they're like nobody on the outside understands what we're going through. Nobody understands what we believe and how much we believe in ourselves. And I think it's all great and dandy and awesome and amazing. I think it is.
As far as they believe they can.
Do I think it's good enough to win a Super Bowl? That camaraderie will push them over the edge of a Super Bowl contender? Like, will they'll go and go beat Josh Allen in a Super Bowl? No, right now, no, I don't.
There's a point I wanted to make.
They could. I just think the odds are against them.
There's a point I wanted to make. I made it a couple weeks ago after that Packers loss, and you guys have mentioned a few things that have made me think of it, and I just feel like it's pertinent to bring up right now. Like Caleb had that if the game was on the line, Caleb waited too long to throw that ball. He made a bad throw. He put too much under it. Packers intercept the ball. Game over. Caleb went to the podium and said, I still have 100% confidence in myself in those moments. And I felt I have 100% confidence in those moments too. And I said on our show, this is going to be a moment we look back on where it's like Caleb failed in that moment, but he learned from it. And when he is succeeding, we're going to look back on that like one of those bumps in the road that he had to get over in order to figure shit out. Now, who would have imagined that 2 weeks later, same situation, he makes some of the best throws you've ever seen to win the game against the Packers. He turned it around that quickly. The progression that Caleb has made under Ben Johnson and this team has made under Ben Johnson is immense. And you can talk about the injuries and who wasn't playing. And I don't give a shit because Caleb didn't really have his weapons. A fucking undrafted rookie free agent was catching a touchdown to tie that game, guys. And Caleb Williams turned it around like that. 2 weeks later, in the same situation, he puts the ball on the fucking dots.
And
game over.
You said something.
Yeah, and Tom Brady lost Super Bowls, man, and he did that every day.
When you said something during that, you said something during that Browns game. You said something during that Browns game about Ben Johnson probably could have just put that team away and ran the fucking football, but he let Caleb throw and throw and throw and throw. And Caleb Williams comes back the next game and defies the odds versus what happened in the first time they played the Packers.
Because Ben Johnson was playing the long game, Brandon. He was looking forward. He was saying, what do I need Caleb to do to beat the Packers? How much experience can I get him?
Yeah. Yes. And did the Bears have luck in that game? Yes, absolutely, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely. Not a question.
What is luck?
You can't deny that. What's luck is you screw up a field goal that you should be kicking before the 2-minute warning, so you can actually ball. You screw up the timing, and now you got to go for an onside kick instead of kicking the ball and call 3 timeouts.
Okay, but what is that? What is it? What is luck?
do you mean? What is luck?
Define
Why don't
luck.
you go
What
look
is
up
luck?
the definition of luck?
No,
on the
I mean,
dictionary?
listen, the Bears have made a lot of their own luck this year, Kyle. It
Sure,
looks
and they've
like
made
luck.
and they've created a lot of bad luck for themselves as well, man.
Yeah, for sure. And they've had to overcome that. They've made things harder on themselves. And that's the point you and Sean are making in regards to this, I would imagine, right? Like you continue to make it hard on yourselves. There's going to be a time where you can't get over that hump. DJ Moore was exhausted when he caught that touchdown because they had to work so hard just to get back into that game. And I would love to see them play 60 minutes of really good football.
Yeah, if they play 60 minutes,
we've
like
seen it on a couple.
they can win the Super Bowl.
Nobody's going to
be exactly.
We've seen it on a couple of occasions, and it's like they might not ever be able to put that together this year because they had such an uphill battle with this roster and with the culture and the toxicity that Ben Johnson was taking over, and now the injuries on top of it. So, but they still continue to find ways to get it done. And I'm just saying, don't discount that intangible shit that we can't go to ESPN.com and look up the statistics. It's just there with that team in the locker room and on the field.
I never have. I understand what I'm watching. I understand what's in front of me. I just, as a football fan who's watched football for 37 years, Sean, you correct me if you disagree.
That shit'll bite you in the ass.
Yeah, I've just watched football for so long. I'm like, well, some of this stuff eventually, like, and the Bears are a good team. They're a good football team. Are they great? No, absolutely not. And you guys can admit that. You watched the first 3 quarters of the Packers game. They're not a great football team. They're a damn good football team with a damn good quarterback who's getting better every week.
Yeah, Steve's been awesome.
But
guys.
do I think they could get over that threshold this season? Burden says with 2 games to go, can they perfect all their deficiencies? No, I don't think so. I think that this is going to take this implementing new schemes and having a roster that you don't believe is complete and you're still missing some guys. So you still have a couple of holes here and there. Do we think we can win the Super Bowl this year? If everybody else sucks, yeah, maybe. But if there's a team that is like head and shoulder, like the Chiefs were 3 years ago, if a team comes up, like a team like the Jacksonville keeps playing the way Jacksonville played against Denver, they're better than the Bears.
Kyle, I'm just of the belief that if someone keeps showing you who they are, you have to take them at what they are showing you. If a person keeps showing you that they're consistently late every time you meet up with them, then you know who that person is. But the Bears are showing us who they are this entire season. Well, I got to take that at face value until they show me something different. And that's what Samo's saying right here. At some point, we have to say that they are an opportunistic bunch that plays 60 minutes of football every week, and they're resilient.
What's different is for the reaction from the person who's meeting the late person. Like playing the Giants and Saints is not playing the Rams, Eagles, and Bills.
You have to believe.
That goes both ways. But I think the Bears can play up to any level, personally.
I say this a lot, and I keep asking this question a lot, and I don't think anybody ever actually interprets it the way I'm asking it. Do you believe in Ben Johnson? And when I ask that question, coaching matters more than any other sport in the NFL to me. If you asked me,
100%
more in this sport than it does in any other.
I believe in Kyle Shanahan. I don't think
I believe in Ben Johnson alone enough, Kyle. Enough in Ben Johnson alone, that this team could win a Super Bowl.
Sure, we've said this 3 times, Sean. This is 4th time now. Remember, yes, the Bears can win the Super Bowl. Are they going to? Is the question. Do you think they're going to? Can they? Yes. Now the question is, do you think they're going to?
I don't know who is going to. I
said this on Sunday.
You don't have to tell me who's going to. Do you think the Bears are going to?
I said this on Sunday. If they continue. If they continue,
have to know who is going to. If I'm going to say it's
if they continue,
you have to pick now. We don't know. We have no idea. We don't know who they're going to play. We don't know.
If they continue to jump the hurdles that are in front of them, if they continue to complete the tasks required in order to advance their season even further, like they did against the Packers on Sunday, if they do that against the Niners, they do that against the Lions, just to say, hey, we had a chance at the number 1 seed. We did what we needed to do. Yes, 100%. I believe they will win a Super Bowl. 100%.
Guys, I want to take a second to give the chat some love, and then I want to pass it to Sean, because Sean, there's got to be some stuff you want to get to. I know you said you got something you got to do, but the chat has been awesome in here. You guys are throwing out some great comments this entire time. We love y'all, and we're gonna start getting to your comments.
Steve, I bet you know that question would turn into
this. So this is what I want to get to. I want to shout out everybody in the chat. Hit that like button. We love y'all. Keep coming back every week. But we have in our chat some really respectful Packers fans, like Steve, like Carl, who was commenting on our shorts over the weekend. Carl gave us some love. T right here. T, Lions Run the North, comes in here and says, guys, great win. Not going to take anything away from you. His Lions team just lost and probably is done in the playoffs. The Packers need to lose twice. The Lions need to win twice in order for that to be avoided, basically. And T comes in here and he shows respect. So I just want to say, like, there are fans in here that are of other teams. Kyle, the Vikings fan, Purple Jesus. We fucking love him, man. He was on our show. You guys come in here and you really comport yourselves in respectable ways, and we love you, and you're always welcome here. And let's just be nice to each other in the chat. Let's not be going back and forth just because you're a Packers fan and I'm a Bears fan. T, we love you. You're an awesome dude every time you come in here. Steve, you've been one of our best members since you joined us a couple weeks ago before that Packers game. Thank you for being here. You're always welcome here. I don't care who you root for. I'm just happy that you're here to talk football with us. Hit that like button, y'all. Sean, there's got to be some stuff you wanted to get to that you had on the docket.
On the Ben Johnson thing, Brandon just asked, do you believe or trust in Ben Johnson? Of course we do. Ben Johnson was the guy wanted here from the jump, from the start, but by his own admission in his press conference today, I'm making mistakes. I'm learning.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be better. And I hate to say it, when it comes to playoff football, Sean McVay's not a rookie. He knows what to expect. He's been there. He's done this.
Might be the best coach in the league.
Sean, do you believe?
Hold on. When you talk about going up against a Matt LaFleur, I'm sorry. Was there as much as excitement as I had on Saturday? There was 55 minutes of disappointment. I did not expect our offense to have 3 points. I did not expect this team, against missing 4 Pro Bowlers and 7 starters, especially on the defensive side, to struggle as much as they did moving the ball, even without Roma Dunze. I thought Colston Loveland, who is a matchup problem, will be more of a focal point in the offense, which he had, 4 targets?
3 catches, 30 yards on 4 targets. The Packers defense really wanted to shut him down, those tight ends.
And can Sean, my question?
Sean, were you done with your point?
No, I'm just saying, when we talk about how far the Bears can go, you have to take in, because we're sitting here talking about coaching. The Rams have an experienced coaching staff, an experienced coaching staff that has a Super Bowl ring. Sean McVay will be ready. When it comes to McDonald and his staff in Seattle, he had 10 wins last year. He's got the best record in the NFC this year. Obviously, he knows he's doing something. I don't know where he is with his experience when it comes to the playoffs.
We'll have you on,
I'd
Steve.
much rather play Seattle than play the Rams.
And I get in regards to that argument,
I don't want to play Green Bay.
I mean, we could talk about the quarterback.
I kind of do.
We could
We're
talk
going
about
to play Green Bay.
Well, hold on. Can I respond real quick? We could talk about the quarterbacks that the Bears have played and how the Bears have probably been better in that position. But Ben Johnson has beaten Super Bowl coaches this season. Sean McVay the same.
I've made this point before.
That's not something I'm worried about. But what I'm asking you, Sean, is
I'll say
do you believe in Ben Johnson?
Beating someone in the regular season is a lot different than beating someone in the playoffs.
100%.
Hold on.
You're talking about
this was my point.
Experience. There's so many factors when you talk about a prepared coach for the playoffs than a prepared coach for a regular season game.
This was my point. Legendary coaches. What do you believe Ben Johnson is? Legendary coaches take teams worse.
Ben Johnson is the best first-year coach the Chicago Bears have ever had.
Legendary coach. I think he is already. I think he's the best head coach. But legendary coaches.
He's not a better head coach than Mike Ditka yet. Mike Ditka has a ring.
Hold on, man. Can I just finish what I'm saying? My point this whole time was legendary coaches, or coaches who you believe might be, if you believe might be, can take teams worse than this Bears team and win fucking championships. I've seen it time and time again.
Yeah, so Sean McVay.
Yeah, but when those coaches are rookies, they're going to have bumps. They're going to have. I get it.
Vernon, on Rams podcast right now, when they're asking the same question, do you guys think that Sean McVay is a good enough coach? You think they're like, no, not since the Bears have Ben Johnson. Sean McVay can't win a Super Bowl this year. No, they're like,
yeah. Say who wins that game is who is the better coach.
Well, Ben Johnson this season, and just in this season, I've made this point before, has outcoached Pete Carroll. He has outcoached Mike Tomlin. He has outcoached Zach Taylor. He has outcoached Dan Quinn. He has outcoached Matt LaFleur now. These are teams that have gone to Super Bowls, head coaches who have coached.
I don't know about the outcoaching of Matt
Kevin
LaFleur.
O'Connell.
He has. He's come out on top with these guys. He outcoached those other guys for sure. If you think the Bears just got lucky and Matt LaFleur coached a better game,
you guys, real quick,
then so be it. I think LaFleur makes some.
We got a name here. We got a name here. I've never seen.
Yeah, I was about to give him the clap.
Yeah, Michael.
The applause.
Well, Michael, 18G. He said, I'm assuming names reference. We got 2 games left of the regular season, and the job isn't complete yet. It's close. Let's go beat those Brutes out in San Francisco. fuck yeah, Mike. Let's go out there. You know what would make me feel a lot better about the Bears? If they go to the last 2 weeks of the season, instead of being complacent and being like, oh, we got a playoff spot, you go beat the shit out of the two opponents you got left, especially the Lions, who absolutely embarrassed the Chicago Bears in week 2, and you go into the playoffs with a full head of steam. Then I'll feel a lot better about the Bears' chances. Because like Justin said, the Rams have looked phenomenal at times this season, but the last couple of weeks, they've looked like there's some cracks. And maybe
They do.
so, especially without Devontae Adams. So
well, I mean, and we're going to see all these teams have injuries, man. But at the end of the day, there's just no team in the NFC that I'm afraid of if I'm the Chicago
I'm not
Bears.
afraid of anybody. I just think
they can play with anyone. But yes, Sean McVay is the best coach in the NFL. He is, and he has that experience. He's lost in a Super Bowl. He's won in a Super Bowl. Sean McVay has been through a lot more than a Ben Johnson has. But that doesn't automatically mean that Ben Johnson is going to not live up to that moment, and Sean McVay will be better than him on that day.
And you guys,
that doesn't mean that.
Samuel here says he has better players in our position. Now, listen, guys, the Rams have
weaknesses.
That Rams secondary is not tremendous by any means necessary. If they can't get home with the pass rush, the Rams can be had. But
that's a good point, Sam.
I will say I agree with Sean. There's one thing,
this Bears team to 11.
One thing that Sean said that stands out to me more than anything, and I agree with it 100%. I've been watching football a long time, just like you guys have. The Bear experience matters more in the playoffs than it ever does in the regular season. And especially when you're talking about coaching experience matters more in the playoffs than it ever could in the regular season. And I think the Rams have played better football teams than the Bears, and they have the same record. The Seahawks have played better football teams than the Bears, and they have a better record. Now, can the Bears beat them? Yes, absolutely. I think the Bears can beat anybody in the NFL any given Sunday. But like I said, if those two teams played each other 10 times in a row, I would just take the Rams to win 6. So right now, unless something changes in the next 2 weeks, I still have the Rams. It's just a tick above the Chicago Bears. That's not insulting the Bears. That's not saying I'm not happy about what's going on here, about the direction we're going. I love all of it. I just think with a veteran quarterback, a veteran coach, and a guy and Matt Stafford, who probably would retire if he wins the Super Bowl this year, and this is the closest he's been in a while, I think that's a very tough game, regardless of where you're playing.
Yeah, Prophet. The point that I've been making this whole time is the belief that these guys will run through a wall for Ben Johnson, the camaraderie, the culture, the resiliency. Like they have an intangible, unquantifiable thing that not a lot of other teams in the NFL have, as far as I'm concerned. I don't see it on a consistent basis with any team but the Bears. You can say what you want. Like the Bears played like shit that whole game, basically, right? They were down 10 with 5 minutes to go when they got that ball back. And and if it weren't for that face mask, they don't get that field goal. And Cairo Santos played the win like a fucking G. That needs to be said. Cairo Santos catches a lot of shit. He was unbelievable. Special teams overall was the best game that they've had all year. The thing about this team is when one thing's not working, other things step up. There's 3 elements to the game, and they all kind of work together. If one's not working, the other one pulls them along until they get going. Like they're just pulling on the same end of the rope, guys. And you can't really count that team out ever. And I know you're not saying that you're counting them out. But I'm just saying that means so much going into this playoff run in a wide open NFC playoff picture, as far as I'm concerned, that any team can fucking win. And the Bears are right there, and they're just as good. And let's not forget that they are very talented too. They have one of the best quarterbacks in the league in Caleb Williams.
Offenses,
and they got the best offensive line in football, and they got the best run game in football right now.
And they have
this Bears team is fucking legit. Get home field advantage for these playoffs. Ain't nobody beating you in Chicago in the playoffs. It's not happening.
For almost 7, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 7 of 8 quarters against the Packers, maybe 6 of 8. The Packers were the better team, and we were being outcoached by that coaching staff.
I'd say 5 out of 8. The Bears were better than them for 3 quarters for sure. That whole second half of that first game, they kicked the shit out of the
second half, yes, and the last 5 minutes of this game, because we had 3 points up until that moment. So. Yeah. That would be
they had 3 points until 10 minutes left in the fourth. Yes, they got their 6 points at that point.
And again, I mean, at what was it? At 5:03, we had 6 points in this football game against a very depleted team, which tells me a couple of things. We were what? We were not prepared. We were not ready. Maybe we were too excited, this, that, or the other. But when we go back and we look at all the score predictions, there wasn't a soul on earth that didn't have the Bears squashing this hapless Packers team. And what happens?
I thought this was going to be a very good game. I said it on the
So did I. But go look at the consensus. I have it written down. The consensus was the Bears won by 21 points in this football game.
I told Brandon that this is going to be just like that Seahawks Rams
2 points
game.
off. My score was almost perfect. So
yeah, but you also said to me you think the Bears are going to win it pretty easily, and it wasn't that kind of game. They went into overtime. Like and every game is going to be like that the rest of the season. And no, I do not think the Bears will rest their players against the Detroit Lions.
No,
regardless of if they beat
you have to put a little perspective on, like, because we're like, man, when they play good teams, they got to play better. But you have to have a little perspective that when you play good teams, it's harder to do so. And that Packers defense, man, I'm saying, without Micah Parsons, is a good football.
They were a top 5 defense without him last year.
That's what I've said earlier in the show. They're a good unit, and they made Caleb look they made this offense look bad for 3 quarters. And I agree,
Sometimes
Sean.
you just
Sean, I agree. Sean, I agree with the game plan.
No Devonta Wyatt, no TJ Slayton. Who was the other clown that was missing off that defense?
Evan Williams.
Evan Williams.
That's what I'm saying, guys. They should have been running the ball. They wound up passing again against the Packers more than running the fucking ball. I did not understand the process. Don't get cute. You had Monungai pounding the rock, and this is what I'm talking about. Coaching experience, trying to be cute on the 1 yard line, snapping it over someone's head to fuck up a scoring opportunity in a crucial game. Set the tone. Let Monungai punch him in the face and punch that ball in the end zone.
From the eye,
you can roll your eyes all you want, Brandon. We watched the same fucking game. It happened. It was silly.
They had 150 rushing yards, man.
It was silly. That they should have had 250.
They
should have never stopped running the ball.
I don't understand why they ran for 150 yards, guys.
I mean,
it's not like they
should have ran that ball from the I formation at the goal line and said, "Stop us." Dare you to stop us. Stop us. We're going to run this ball right to the right of the center and between the center and the right guard. We're telling you where we're going. Now stop us. Stop us from running this ball.
They ran the ball 25 times. They ran for 150 yards, guys.
Cole Kmet has to do
How many times they passed, Dustin?
Cole Kmet has to do a little hop, and they have to snap the ball under his legs.
Reverse that. This is probably not that close of a game.
Ben Johnson's never going to be that guy. Ben Johnson
was that guy against Philadelphia, and we kicked their ass.
Ben Johnson is about what's
missing
he been?
Your top.
He's been like 55, 45 all year past the run.
In their face.
He's been 55 to 45 past the run all year.
Well, let me ask you this, guys. If the Bears get matched up against the Packers in the playoffs, and the Packers somehow find a way to win, does that make all of this all for no? Are the Packers still your big brother? If you go to the playoffs and they knock you out of the playoffs, are you still their little brother?
Now, listen, if you host the Packers in the goddamn playoffs and you lose to them in the first round in a wild card matchup, that's going to be very disappointing. But this team did not have the expectations of having 12, 13 wins coming into the season from any of us as fans, except for people who were way out there. That's the reality. We've had people that have come in here and they had 12-5 predictions, and we were like, that just seems like a little too far putting the cart too far ahead of the horse with this team just starting out. But now that's where they are. So it's like it's time to kind of accept that this team has performed well beyond expectations.
Of course.
And if you lose in the playoffs after getting there, it doesn't make this season disappointing. We have to keep it in perspective going back to what this team was up against coming into this season, as far as I'm concerned. But yes, now you've kind of reset those expectations, Kyle, and you do expect that the Bears should be making some noise in the playoffs the way they've performed.
Well, and
you do. But at the same time, you guys have pointed out, and we pointed out all season, they got flaws.
It's not so much losing in the playoffs. It's losing to the Packers. Would that
I get
things
it.
More, man. Then the Packers reset that up.
I don't play that game.
You guys are still the Bears.
Play that.
We're still the Packers. You guys had a chance.
I'll be just as disappointed if the Bears lose to the 49ers in the first round of the playoffs. I'll be just as disappointed as if they lose to the fucking Packers. I will. You're in the playoffs at that point. It's not a regular season game. Beat the team in front of you and move on to the next round. And if that doesn't happen, you didn't accomplish your goal. I don't give a fuck if it's the Packers, it's the Seahawks, it's the Niners. I don't care who it is. The Bucks or the Panthers. I don't care. Beat the team in front of you.
You're about to see how they stack up in the
Niners. There's multiple people in the chat saying they don't want to play the Packers again. So that game did not erase the stigma.
I want the Packers
against the Green Bay Packers.
Fucking bring them on. They are not that good. They're not that good in terms of comparing them to the Bears. The Bears and the Packers are very evenly matched. Play the best team in front of you and win the game.
Stigma's going to take time to erase anyways, because the Bears have won 2 of the last 3, and I'm sure nobody feels any different than they did even a year ago. Kyle said it. This was an ass whooping for how long? You got to see this Bears team come out and beat this Packers team for a couple of seasons. And yes, Sean, you want them to start doing it handedly. And I think next year's Bears team is going to be a different story. I do.
I agree.
We are most likely going to see the
They're gonna
Packers
be
in the playoffs.
fucking frightening team.
100%.
Yes.
After watching the impact that
Yep.
Brent Johnson made in his first draft as an NFL head coach, I am excited to see what this team looks like next season.
I'm
sure.
excited to see what they look like in the playoffs first, Brandon.
But I think
I'd rather play Tampa or like
I think-
Carolina. Than
I think
I
Brent
agree.
Johnson-
It's just me,
I think-
dude.
how about we get that first round bye and get the number 1 seed?
I think
would be awesome.
How about
take
that?
the Bears. I'll take the Bears again against Green Bay and Chicago.
Fuck yeah! If the Packers are coming here, the Bears are a better
I'll
team than
take
the
them
Packers
again.
that's currently
The
constructed.
Bears haven't lost at home since week 1.
We
I'll
all
take the
the
Bears.
to beat
I'll take the
Packers
Bears.
in Lambeau, and the Bears really should have beat them. And then the Packers come here, and you know what? You can talk about all the injury stuff again. I don't give a shit. Every team is hurt. Every team is dealing with injuries. Find a way to win the game, and that's exactly what the Bears did, and that's all that matters to me. And I have 100% faith that they would be able to do it again in the playoffs at Soldier Field.
They did it 1 out of 2 times, so they split. It's a split. So, I mean,
I acknowledge. I said that in what I was saying. They
all
lost
I'm
the
saying
first
is like, listen.
We didn't lose at home to them.
Here's my mentality. Like Justin, like you're saying, the Bears could beat anybody. You're like, I think the Bears could beat anybody,
and they could lose to anybody. Kyle.
I agree with you. Yeah, and I think the Packers could beat anybody, and I think the Seahawks could beat anybody, and I think the Rams could beat anybody, and I think the Eagles could beat anybody.
This is the most wide open this league has been in a long time.
I think the Patriots could beat anybody.
And you talk about the teeter that this Bears-Packers rivalry has most recently become, and you look at these last 4 games, man, and you think, well, the Bears got blocked on a field goal. They should have won that game. Then they went to Lambeau and they won that game. Then Caleb threw a pick, which is a very rare thing. He doesn't do it often. So they lost that game, and he did it in the clutch.
Recovered from that
he did
very nicely.
Then he came back and won this last one. So they should have won on a field goal that was blocked. They beat him in Lambeau.
They also blocked.
They lost on the final play. They lost on the final.
The same thing about that game.
Kyle, hold on. They lost on the final play of the game, and then they won this last one. And I would feel like if you're a person who's just wondering when this Bears team's going to stop being, stop allowing this Green Bay team to be their Achilles heel. Don't you feel like the teeter's kind of here now? I mean, where as opposed to like where the fuck it was?
Yes.
Don't you already kind of see something here? Like we're not, even when we lose.
Steve is saying this.
If the Packers are beating the Vikings in the last week of the season.
Listen, come on. I'm watching Packers fans implode.
They're pretty even to me here.
Yeah, they are an evenly matched team. The Packers fans, I'm watching them implode, and Matt LaFleur, I don't know how much I trust him. I've been saying that for years.
Packers fans don't. They want to fire him for Jeff Hadley.
Listen, the Packers could miss the fucking playoffs if shit goes as bad. Jordan Love is not coming back.
Can I tell you this?
You guys, they have to win one game.
Jordan Love is
maybe Steve can.
Well, if they lose that game, you never know what
they're
happens.
playing the Ravens, so maybe they'll rest everybody, and then they'll get the Jordan Love against the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, here, how about this
to end the season?
Malik Willis,
okay, I'm taking the Packers. I'm taking the Packers.
What'd you say, Sean?
Malik
Willis and Jordan Love.
And Jordan Love.
Yeah, so maybe they throw in the towel in this game.
Maybe they throw in the
towel.
This
I don't
week.
think they're going to be playing Lamar Jackson. I don't think they're going to be playing Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, he went out with the back.
I don't think they're playing Lamar Jackson.
That's been a tough.
Yeah, but Huntley is more than capable. We learned that a few weeks back.
Yeah, but the Packers defense could keep Huntley to 10 points. They could score 12
because they're really good. Because they're a really good.
Listen, all I'm saying is that there's no guarantee the Packers make the playoffs at this point. The Bears got that guarantee. The Bears are there because they beat the Packers on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's nice to have that guarantee, but I'm worried that the Packers are the 7th seed, the Bears are the 2. We got to play in week 1. I think that sucks for the Bears.
Well, if it's not the Packers, Kyle, it's the Lions. If it's not the Packers, it's the Lions.
I'll take that. Oh, dude, you guys, have you been watching the Lions? Has anybody been watching the Lions? They look like dog shit.
He's been watching.
They look like dog shit, guys. I'm sorry, T. I'm not trying to hate on your team, T. Honestly, I'm not. I didn't expect this. I expected.
I did not expect Aaron Rodgers to have more rushing yards than Jahmyr Gibbs.
But what is going on? What's going on? Like I drafted Jahmyr Gibbs in my fantasy league. This guy has 2 yards going in the 4th quarter. What is going on in Detroit? What is going on in Detroit, man?
Let's make that point. Let's make that point. Sean, where you got that stat? Because I can pull it up.
Oh, I got that stat.
The Dan Campbell stat. Pull it up, please. That point is important to make.
Where did I do with that? Dan Campbell is what? I hold on. It's in here somewhere. Oh,
All right.
God.
Well, I'll just read this right
I
here.
can do it for you right now.
Ben Johnson has the same number of wins, 11, as a head coach in 1 year, as Dan Campbell has wins as a head coach without Ben Johnson as his offensive play caller. Dan Campbell without Ben Johnson is 11-20-1.
Yep.
Ben Johnson was the straw that stirred that drink there in Detroit, guys. Period. End of story. Ben Johnson has as many wins as Dan Campbell as a head coach without Ben Johnson as his offensive play caller.
I made the point all off season, and a lot of Detroit fans were hating on me, but I said it's not even so much about losing Ben Johnson; it's about what you replace him. And I didn't like your choice.
Morton
and the guy got his responsibilities taken from him. Like, you see the detriment that can. It's not because Ben Johnson's gone and the good guys grow into bigger positions. That's always going to be a thing. So you should expect that. But you got to find a fucking guy
Dan Campbell
who can do what was working, and it didn't happen, man. So that's what burned him.
Miami's going to fire Mike, and he's going to be the Lions' offensive coordinator next year, and the Lions are going to have one of the best.
They're going to have to retool
with one of the best play callers.
Yeah, but when you
who was that, Kyle?
Mike McDaniel. I don't think he's getting fired though out of Miami.
He's friends with Dan Campbell. They have some pals.
Guys, can we take a moment to acknowledge Jade Walker, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
We talked
about my boy Dante Walker.
Yeah, we were saying why not? You got no Luther Burden, you got no Roma Dunze. Why not throw Jade Walker out there? Why'd you keep him on your 53-man roster? You didn't let him go and get picked up by somebody else. You saved the roster spot for this guy. Let him get out there. He had 2 catches in that game. The last catch he had was the game-saving touchdown.
First one was big too.
It was a hell of a play. But Jade Walker was getting open all night too. Caleb missed him on one post towards the sideline. That he had him there. Jade Walker,
he didn't even give Walker a shot.
Stayed ready. He stayed on the practice squad. Stayed working with Antoine Randall L, getting himself to know this offense. And when his number got called, he stepped up in a big fucking way. And this is a goddamn great story. This guy was living with Caleb Williams because he had no place to stay when he started this NFL season. And now he's catching touchdowns to beat the fucking Green Bay Packers. Jade Walker all day.
And it's the best day. It's the best celebration in the NFL, dude. It looks like he's floating, dude. I haven't figured it out.
Ben Johnson today said that guy participates in practice, participates in special teams, blocks on special teams, and he goes, that's going to earn him more opportunities. There's a spot for him on this roster.
Well, no block, no rock.
DJ Moore,
he works his ass off this kid. He works his
DJ Moore spent
off.
a bunch of time with him personally outside of the Bears facility. He's like my little brother, and I've been looking out for him since he got here. I mean, the whole story is absolutely phenomenal. Johnny Walker's story is amazing. And if you guys have a chance, go read it.
And I think
it's amazing.
It's worth saying that, like, you're in that spot on this roster because, guys, I mean, you have that guy in the preseason that just kind of leaves you in awe, but he was, I mean, like that game where him and Bajan crawled back against whoever was they played,
the Chiefs.
Where he was making one-handed toe tapping, outstretched catches.
The game-winning touchdown he caught
with DB's
holding him,
with DB's holding him and pulling his arms in other directions. It was like, man, to see that translate, to see like this kid actually be that good, and the Bears kept him in hopes that he is. And guys,
I think they knew
he fucking is.
I love this comment.
He is a legitimate NFL receiver and a good one. Any other team would be lucky to fucking have Walker for sure.
This point is important to make in regards to Jade Walker as well, because every NFL fan outside of Chicago had no fucking idea who he was. And you said the Bears kept him because they thought that he would be something special. I think they kept him because they knew he would be something special. We talked about him all week. We talked about him a couple weeks ago as well. Bears fans knew what we had in Jade Walker, because when you show that kind of those traits and those physical abilities he showed in the preseason, you don't forget that shit as an NFL fan. And we carried that all through this season, and so did the Chicago Bears. But it's just hilarious that in a primetime game, a guy that nobody's ever heard of outside of Chicago is catching that ball to beat the Packers, man. That's a huge point to make, because that shows you that this coaching staff and this front office, they got their eye for talent is really good. Their potential to develop is fucking really good. And they're getting guys, this is my point going forward. They're getting guys prepared and ready to step up at a moment's notice and perform in key spots in the biggest games of the season. It's been happening all year. I have no reason to believe it's not going to continue to happen. No reason to believe that.
Flex says, I like Jade better than Rome. He has better hands and more speed. They're two totally different receivers. I think Roma Dunze has kind of established himself in the NFL. He's a possession receiver, man. He's not going to be the kind of guy where he's 50 yards downfield, it goes over the shoulder, and he runs another 40 yards for a 90-yard touchdown. I don't think that's what Roma Dunze is. I think Jade Walker could do that.
He's got some speed to him.
He's
got some speed to him.
I think he could do that. I think he could look like Jamar Chase. Not like their skill set. I'm just saying, like, Jamar Chase gets those 90-yard touchdowns.
Speed, hands.
Jefferson gets those 80-yard touchdowns. I think he could do that shit. 100%.
I said on Sunday before somebody asked in the chat, will he play in this game on Sunday before the game or Saturday before the game? And I said he has to, because first off,
we just didn't know how much.
They're too thin. And second off, these guys, you can't expect Duvernay and Oz to play, the entire game after they've played so limited in over the course of the last season. But
I just don't want to see Oz anymore.
I said, I think Jade Walker. I said, I bet you Jade Walker, because when you watch on Hulu, there's a statistic underneath that you can go scroll down to. They show the yards of separation. They show the yards of separation per receiver, and I said, I'll bet you anything, Jade Walker has the highest yards per separation behind DJ Moore. And without a doubt, man, this kid just gets space. That one that Dustin, you're talking about, the deep one that he missed on, he had all day. He had all day.
That's why that's his name.
The kid's talented.
Jason,
what's up, Jason?
What's up, Jason?
Yeah,
hit that like button,
like
brother.
Dustin said,
Jason,
it's tough to forget a guy who had 2 game-winning catches in the preseason. I understand it's preseason, guys, but everybody out there is playing to win the game. It doesn't matter who's out there. These guys all want to win. And for Jade Walker to have kind of that clutch gene, where this guy just so happens to be making 2 game-winning touchdowns in preseason, Sean and I talked about on Wednesday. We're like, why not? Why not in the regular season? Why couldn't he do the same exact thing in the regular season? And sure enough, 2 days later, Jade Walker is catching a game-tying touchdown in the back of the end zone.
Thank you, T. Thanks for being here.
Hey, T, is this you in your bedroom? I was just checking.
Sean.
Just checking. I'm just fucking with you, man. Love you.
What a dick.
It's probably his favorite outfit.
Sean.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, he didn't make the meme, man. Okay.
No, I didn't put it over the screen.
Yeah.
I stepped away did we talk about Nashon, right? Because that's another. I mean,
I brought it up, and you walked away. These guys don't want to resign him.
You were paused, bro. I said it depends on how much money he's asking for, dude.
I gotta wait for the offseason.
Because if you sign him and he doesn't have as many turnovers,
Kyle don't want him back.
Kyle wants his family to be attacked by criminals.
Not the contract. Tyreek Stevenson right now.
I meant more the play that he made, and he continues to do what he's doing at a high level and taking the ball away.
We talked about it.
What I said, Brennan, is
we talked about it.
If the turnovers go down, he becomes a very average, mediocre corner in the NFL.
Chad, watch the
careful about how much you're signing him to. That's all I'm saying. And you guys, I think Terrell Smith and Zach Frazier are still a big part of the Bears' future plans. And people can say what they want. I don't care. Zay Frazier. People can say what they want. I don't care. I think both those guys are a big part of the plans in the future.
I think they all are.
Somebody you want Tyreek Stevenson.
Cornerback is a position
you want
a shit ton of depth at.
Well, you also can't bring back everybody. The Bears are going to have some holes to fill and other people to sign, and Nashon's earning himself a contract, and I don't think it's going to be a cheap one. And you're already paying Kyler Gordon. You're already paying Jalen Johnson. You're going to have to make a decision here on Brisker.
Darnell Wright after and sometime in the middle of next year or the end of next year.
Okay, so in that vein, if Jade Walker continues to perform, Luther Burden and Rome are out a little bit.
Well, we don't got to worry about Jade Walker for 5 months. Why does
but let me get to my point. Luther and Rome come back, and you see a receiving corps really got a lot of youth, and there's a lot of talent. They're coming up big. DJ Moore has been fucking huge these last.
John, you got to worry about Walker.
DJ Moore has been huge, because he's a 1-year guy.
1-year contract.
DJ Moore has been huge these last couple of weeks, but this motherfucker gets paid a lot of money, and you got some really good young receivers. Maybe you free up some cap space by moving on from DJ Moore, trading him out of here to sign a guy like Nashon Wright. That's not me neither, but it's something you consider.
You only have one ball. It's only one ball on the field. If you got Jade Walker and you love him and you like Roma Dunze and you like
Luther Burden becomes the best receiver on the Bears,
Loveland and you love Cole Kmet, at some point, somebody probably has to go. At some point, they're going to make a business decisions and say,
If it's
why
DJ,
not
I'm
the
gonna
guy
cry.
who's making $28 million?
Caleb can make all these guys look good. You know, if OZ could just catch the fucking ball, he'd look real good. Imagine if all those fucking ridiculous drops.
That contract, he's a 2-year contract, right?
Yeah, it's a 2-year contract.
OZ needs that contract needs to be eaten. Eat that shit and get that guy as far away from the Chicago Bears as you possibly can. I'm done with OZ, bro.
Well,
yeah, I don't want to see him on the field.
You drop passes, that's one thing. You drop passes against the Green Bay Packers in clutch time in the second game after you've already lost one. That's it for me, man.
George Kittle, big catch down.
You obviously don't understand how big this game is.
Guys, if the Niners lose this game, it's obviously good for the Bears. And one thing to talk about with this Bears-Niners game coming up on Sunday night, I just want to make this point. Niners are playing right now on a Monday night. The Bears played on Saturday night, and they get to wait all the way till Sunday night. Now, the Bears are going to be on the road, so they're at a disadvantage there, but the Niners are going to have much less rest for that game. That's just something to think about. They're about to play a hard-fought game here all the way down to it. This is going to be a tight game, and then they're going to have to turn around on a short week and host the Chicago Bears. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. Just
Philip Rivers is going to have to do some shit.
Well, he's already scored.
Well, it's 7-0. They're already up on the Niners right now. Yeah, he just.
I told Sean today. I said, Sean, Philip Rivers. The more he plays, he's going to get comfortable. He's going to start to look better than people thought he was going to look at 44 years old as a grandpa. Whenever else people wanted.
Yeah, it's going to take a little time to knock that rust off.
Too late.
Christian McCaffrey's just running for 7 yards a carry right now. So if that continues, this is not going to be a close game. It's not going to be a close game.
I mean, I think it'll be a hard fought game. This Colts defense has been playing better the last couple of weeks. They have. So, but Christian McCaffrey is gashing them. You are correct. He just gashed them.
Running through them like
yeah, they're not going to be able to slow down CMC. Bruce, it's not.
I don't think anybody can really slow down CMC. His bad game is like 98 yards and 2 touchdowns. People are like, oh, what happened to Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah, like 50 receiving, 48 running.
Yeah.
touchdown on each.
So they're like, man, you didn't have 100 yards rushing?
What's wrong with C-Mac? No, yeah, and listen, it's going to be a huge game on Sunday night. I've seen people post out there, like if the Niners were to lose tonight and then the Seahawks win before that game, the Niners could rest their starters. The Niners are not resting their starters against the Bears no matter what the fuck happens before that game.
No,
that's just some ridiculous
The Niners
stuff
can still win their division, guys. They can still win their division.
The thing behind it being that they would have no chance to win the division at that point. If the Seahawks win and the Niners lose tonight, the Seahawks win on Sunday. It's done. It's a wrap. But why?
Because the Bears are 7-9.
But like why try for it? But at the end of the day, you're still pushing for playoff seeding. You're still pushing to be in the playoffs in general because you don't know what the fuck could happen in this NFC. It's going to be down to the wire with these. None of these teams are going to be resting their starters, man. I don't see it. I think all these teams are going to play this down to the wire.
Yeah.
Before we move, Kyle Shanahan
touchdown,
doesn't really do that.
Bourne.
That's good for you, Kyle.
No, it's not Bourne. It's Robinson, Demarcus Robinson.
That's good for you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Really quick before we move on, I want to hand out 2 game balls.
Huge for me, Sean. That's
the chat's been talking about this for a little bit.
Fuck
but
you,
without
Kyle,
Curry and
Darren
Santos, the Bears never stayed in this
Not
game.
that league,
Going
bro.
3 for
Different
3.
league.
I know, but still.
20-plus mile per hour winds, hitting a 30, 40, and 50-yarder. Incredible day. We've talked a lot of smack about Santos and getting him off of this team and getting a better kicker. I got
Sicario Santos.
My boy.
Osto abajo.
He made it happen, and he came up big for the Chicago Bears this week. So I got to tip my cap to him. And
the whole special teams, man. The whole special teams, man.
Best game of special teams all
of them, man.
Richard Hightower, game ball.
There is one more guy I'm getting.
Yeah, his precision kicking might outweigh his short distance kick, like the fact that he can't kick 60-yard field goals. Because
Moody doesn't make that second kick either, AC. He don't.
Dude, kicking into that wind they were like, this is not a guarantee. They were right down the middle.
He was putting them out to the right.
They were coming right back down the
They were
middle.
curveballs, dude. It was awesome.
Oh my
John, what were you gonna say?
I got one more game ball, and this guy's been injured a lot this year, but it seems as though he's coming on at the right time. 7 tackles, 6 for run stuffs, 1 quarterback hit, another quarterback pressure.
Grady Jarrett.
You got it. Number 50, Grady Jarrett. We
He's
haven't
been
talked
fucking
enough about him
awesome
or mentioned him
all
on the
month.
show.
Dude,
The
you
last
guys,
2 weeks that dude has
all month.
stepped
I said to
up.
Sean in the second quarter, I'm like, Grady Jarrett just had the best quarter he's had in 5 years.
I've been saying it on the show, guys. I've been trying to shout out Grady
Yeah.
Jarrett. We don't
Yeah, the
talk
longer
about him
the
enough,
longer
but
this
yeah.
goes on, the better that contract looks.
He
The one
continues to
that
get
Brian's
better
never getting away
every
with
week.
is Deo. Deo's not. He's not getting away
Yeah,
with
but
that
Grady
contract.
Jarrett had
That
the
one's not
injury.
gonna-
He's recovering from
He's
that.
recovering.
He's recovering really well. He's Brandon
jumping
brought it
off
up
the
too
screen,
like a
man.
month and a half ago. Like he's
Justin,
just
we've talked
getting
about this. Even the fact that he's
better
like a
every week.
player's coach. A player's coach is
Yes,
just that's
exactly.
massive for that. It was massive.
If he
for
wasn't
this team
contributing
early.
on the field at all, he'd still be making an impact on this team.
I
Saying
think
this goes to him.
Grady Jarrett and Drew Dahlman have been playing the best football of their season right now.
Yeah,
in the last few
I
weeks, for
agree.
sure. I also
Listen, can I ask this
listen,
question?
I want to say this because I've given grief, but the player that Montez Sweat was from 3 minutes in the fourth quarter through overtime
Unstoppable.
is who if he's that guy
If he destroyed
all
that
game,
destroyed
dude.
that.
He was, and the hit on was
Destroyed
it
him.
Jacobs or Wilson in overtime that hit the gap, that big gap.
That was Wilson, or that was,
That was
that
Wilson.
was no, that was
Jacobs didn't play in overtime, guys.
no, that was Malik Willis.
Malik Willis got hit by TJ Edwards.
Yeah.
No,
that was
yeah,
TJ
no, it
Edwards.
was a run. I think it was
That was
Wilson.
TJ Edwards. That was
And there
TJ
was
Edwards.
this huge
Yeah, Jacobs didn't
gap,
play in OT, guys.
and Montez Sweat just stepped into it and lifted Wilson off the ground. And I was like, man, if this guy
Fuck your friends.
for the rest of the season for 4 quarters every game can just wreck like this, because that play Dustin's talking about, I mean, that bull rush, he just tossed
Dude,
the
he
tackle
didn't
aside.
run through him. He threw him to the side like he was a
Yeah.
fucking rag doll. He
Yeah.
was
So
in
he
the
just
air.
did.
He
Oh, that
levitated.
was a backup right tackle, but I don't care.
Yes.
He destroyed.
Yeah,
that
I
tackle.
don't care either. He threw him on his
No, that
ass,
was- that
and
was-
then he slammed. No,
That was
and
the
he
left
slammed him.
tackle.
No, it was the
That
right
was,
tackle.
that was
It was
the
the
right
right
tackle.
tackle.
It was the
the
right
right
tackle.
I thought he was coming from the left side on that.
No, it was the right
Or
tackle.
maybe I saw like those videos.
If you're looking
that
at the
were
Bears'
reversed.
backs, yes, it was the left side.
Yes,
so it would be
it's the
right
left
tackle.
side of that formation, but he was on the right tackle.
Swat is going to have double-digit sacks this season. You're 100% right.
9.5 sacks on the season, guys.
Yeah.
Sean, you got his stats? I would imagine you got his stats.
No,
somewhere
I
in
don't
front
have
of
them
you.
written down.
No.
I had a.
He was an animal, and I hope we see that Montez Sweat till the season ends, man. Good guy.
And someone mentioned Josh Blackwell. I'm not shorting Josh Blackwell. I can't give everyone a game ball. There's 3 other guys. They can-
Montez Sweat,
Game ball.
44 total
Did he
tackles,
give-
16 quarter. Montez Sweat, 44 total tackles, 16 quarterback hits, 13 tackles for loss, 9.5 sacks, 8.5 are in the last 10 games, 5 passes defended, 3 forced
Yeah,
fumbles, 1
5
recovery.
batted balls.
And me
crazy.
and Brandon need to kind of. I've been super critical of Montez Sweat since he
Right.
got traded to the Bears. Since the day he got traded to the Bears, I didn't like the move. And he started out well with the Bears, and then he had a really down season. Everybody did last year. He stepped up in a major way and really figured out how to work in Dennis Allen's defense, and it is paying major
And
dividends. He's
put that
earning
game-
his fucking
and
money.
let's not don't get it
I'll
twisted.
eat the crow on that. Congrats,
He put
Montez
that game
Sweat.
away on defense.
He is beating
On
one-on-ones
defense, he put that game
consistently.
away.
That was
That
my biggest
sack
issue with
was it.
Montez Sweat.
And let's
run the
He
ball.
couldn't
is
beat
good.
a one-on-one to
Never
save
run
his
the
fucking
ball to
life
the right.
last
They
year.
always run to the left because Montez Sweat's the best run stopper too on the defensive line.
here, and let's not forget.
Badass run stopper. too.
Well, that sack put
Just
that
wanna
game
give him
away
his props.
on defense. On defense,
And it injured Willis.
It
You
did.
knew he was injured as soon as he went down. He slammed him on
yeah,
that
he
shoulder so
landed
fucking
right
hard.
on top of him, man.
Yeah,
He's
and I mean, Willis still came out and made a good throw in that overtime, but you could tell he was hurting, and now he's questionable for this next week coming
Yeah,
up.
Willis is not a bad backup quarterback. Man.
No,
So those,
and
I had a
let's not-
question about the Cairo
I was
Santos
going to
thing,
say,
guys.
let's just not forget where they said going back when in late July and August, Ben Johnson, Dennis Allen, and the coaching staff about Montez Sweat. He's working harder than everybody else. He's the first one in the building. He's
We
the
did
last
flex.
one to leave. He felt bad about how bad his season was. And all season, that was the guy we said was going to have a redemption year. He's going to come back.
And it
He's gonna be
started
the
out
man.
rough. The first 5
started off
weeks
rough.
were not good.
Well,
We're not good
that's
at all.
right.
I love Montez.
Since the bye week, he has been playing some of the best football at the defensive end position in the entire league. Got to give him his credit. And Flex, we did give Austin Booker his flowers earlier in the show, I believe. I mean, I said he was playing like a madman. He was playing with violence that I fucking loved. And I have no qualms about him hitting Jordan Love.
I looked at Sean and I said, every single yard of that penalty
Thank
is
you,
worth
Austin
it if
Booker.
Jordan Love is out for this game.
Fucking love Austin
every single
Booker.
yard of that
And
penalty
it's not because of the
is
hit.
worth it.
You
No,
play
it
a
wasn't
violent
dirty.
game, you're going to
It
get hit in
wasn't
the fucking
dirty.
head
It
sometimes.
was
That's
not
football.
dirty. That play
It was not dirty. Austin
That
Booker is
play
not a
actually
dirty
looked-
player.
That
Kiss
play
my
looks like
fucking
basically
ass
what
saying
every
that shit.
sack looks like in the NFL, except for
Brandon.
Jordan Love dipped his head.
I mean, twice in one game. He's got to.
I don't care. It was
He's
not.
got to
dirty.
clean it up. He's
He's
got
got
to
a little
clean it up.
technique issue, but he'll be all right.
I wanted to ask you guys a question about that 51-yarder on that field goal to make it a 7-point game. I was shitting bricks, guys.
So was I.
I did not expect him to make that kick, and the way he hooked that fucking thing in. I just want to know like what you guys' thought process was going into that kick, because if we miss that kick, the game's over. It's done. There's 5 minutes left. You got no shots.
Justin,
So what did you guys
around,
feel going into that kick?
I turned around and looked at Kyle and said, "There's no way he makes this fucking kick, dude."
I said the same fucking thing, dude.
So
I had no
negative.
faith at all. I was like, Cairo has trouble. It's no guarantee on a 51-yarder in perfect weather, and the wind's blowing the way it is.
Exactly. I was
Cairo's a
shitting a brick.
fucking wizard, dude. I was so impressed by him. I could not have been. I think he is secretly the player of that game, guys. Like quietly,
100%.
the player of
he got
that
a game ball.
Yeah, he
quietly the player of that game.
He did.
No, yeah, I understand
Yeah,
from Ben
game
Johnson,
balls,
but
because
like
we gave him
when
one
you
on
go
the
back
show.
and watch the game, you're like Caleb Williams threw the touchdown.
Dude, another player.
It don't matter if Cairo don't hit those field goals.
Another-
And those were some of the hardest field goals you're going to see a kicker have to hit all year.
Another player who continues
Yeah,
to
it was,
impress
AC.
me is Kyle Monungai. Kyle Monungai is the man. That 35-yard catch down the seam.
He smashed Xavier McKinney.
Yeah,
He smashed Xavier McKinney,
where he knew the hit was coming, so he just let himself into it.
You know who he reminds me of when he does that, Brandon? Walter Payton.
I love
he wants
Kyle
to give
Monungai,
the
dude.
hits. Kyle Monungai, Sean, and listen, Sean, I know you've been like a little critical of Monungai, but
I love
just in that trait, am I going out of line by saying Kyle Monungai wants to deliver the hit
He
to
wants
the
the
defender
contact.
more than the
100%.
defender wants to bring it to him, and
Yeah,
that
he
really
wants the
reminds me
contact.
of how
Sean-
Walter Payton would finish
Sean-
a run.
Sean, the second touchdown of the game, Brock Purdy passed it to Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I'll say this.
You got Brock Purdy starting?
Calvin,
I got Brock Purdy against George Kittle and Christian
Um,
McCaffrey.
It's
Nice.
it was the long
Yeah.
speed, but he's definitely improved under the staff and worked out some of his early problems that he
Kyle,
had.
what's our matchup at?
But yeah, I'm
So here's the
I'm more
question,
than
I
Sean.
thought I
happy.
was
So
done.
here's
more
the
than
question,
I
Sean.
haven't looked at it. Like
The answer is still yes.
No, here's the question. I am not worried about running back going into this offseason. Are you still? I haven't been for some time.
Let's say that again?
Still? I'm not worried about running back. I don't feel like you got to spend a high draft pick on a running back. I don't think you need to do a free agent signing of any sort. I am very happy with DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monungai going into next year, and I think that saves you a roster, draft assets. That
If you want to know the truth, I'll tell you where I'm at with it, and I mean this 110%. If you can get a Jeremiah Love, you do it. I'm sorry, he's a game changer. He's a Gibbs.
You're not going to get him.
Bijan
You're not going to have a chance at him. So I can agree with you
the
there.
answer
But
would be no.
right, I think.
but-
Are you taking a second round running back? Are you taking a running back at pick 25?
If you can get Price in the third round, I'd be all over it. I'd be all over it.
I'm good with these running backs, guys.
All right, boys. I
don't
gotta get
think
out
you
of
need
here.
to.
I gotta get out of here, guys.
Kyle, be good, man. Bear
Yeah, I
down.
gotta hop off
Yeah.
here in a second too, but
Love you, boys. Great show, man. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We appreciate you guys so much, man. If I don't see you guys again, we're kind of unsure about Wednesday. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a great holiday, man.
no show Wednesday. I got 15 people here
Christmas
for Christmas
Eve.
Eve. So
Yeah. So everybody enjoy your
I don't
holiday.
think my
man.
wife would be too
safe.
happy with me.
Chad, appreciate you, bud. Plank, appreciate you, man. You guys
All right,
take
Kyle.
care of yourselves.
You
too.
be good. Brandon, are you good with this running back position? Do you think the Bears need to spend anything on it?
No, I think because you've got Swift under contract, you can do what you're doing for another year. I mean, Ben Johnson clearly just finds a really creative way to scheme the run game in favor of the running
That's
back.
the biggest part of it. Ben
In
Johnson can make it
favor
work
of
with
their
these running
traits,
backs.
right?
Yes,
and
exactly.
he figured it out. It took him. I talked about this a lot, guys, during the bye week. He's gonna focus on this, and it's gonna look better because we saw what he did. In
Yeah, we
Detroit.
all talked about that.
And they're doing. I mean, they don't have the guys they had in Detroit, but they're doing a similar thing here. They're second in the league right now.
Yeah, I'm happy.
They're getting their most, and I think on top of Ben Johnson being a genius, I think you have this combination of Ben Johnson doing this run scheme, and it works in the favor of the
100%, Tom. But that's why it's not an issue.
Then you have Bieniemy, who I believe has made DeAndre Swift a better running back.
He 100% has.
DeAndre Swift was a better not gimmick. Like he was just a good split of receiving and some outside runs, and he's made him an interior. Swift is a powerful dude, man. the enemy got it out of him. Like this guy can get the extra
Dude,
yards when they're not there.
Swift's arms are so much bigger this year. He
I
got
like
swole in
the
the
way
offseason.
Have you
I
guys
like
ever
the
seen
way
his
he's
dad?
running.
No,
I
I haven't seen.
Swift's dad.
No, I have not. But
He's a monster of a human being.
Swift got more swole in this offseason. He
Is
worked
he
his
not?
ass off.
Does
to
he
get
not look
bigger.
like a better pure
No,
running back?
100% more decisive, quicker cuts, running straight
Patient.
downhill, powering through people.
Patient.
I've been saying for a year he's got more power than people give him credit for. But my point, and people keep pointing out the
No,
chat.
Dustin, I'm good with him. I'm good with
People
him.
keep pointing out chat. It's Ben. It's the offensive line. That is exactly my point. When you have Ben Johnson calling the run game and you got this offensive line, you don't need to spend high draft capital on a running back, because how much more are you going to get out of another running back you bring in here than you're already getting out of the ones you have? That's my point.
You can go get
why allocate the funds when you have about as good of a running game as a team could have in the NFL right now with the guys you have? And Kyle Monunga is going to continue to get better. And as Brandon pointed out, DeAndre Swift has gotten better as well. This run game will just continue to get better.
And you can spend a late round pick if you want a guy with like some
all defense. J2K.
If you want a Tariq Cohen or one of the Brashard Smith, if you want like add another element that you don't think
we're going to throw Brashard Smith's name out there like that.
Well, I'm saying, like, if you don't think DeAndre Swift and Monunga, either one of them has this speed that you'd like to see, like you can go get a
100%.
You can go get a late round pick that does that as well. You know,
I'll just say this. Something happens to DeAndre Swift, the running game's in a lot of trouble. So you have to get somebody else on this team.
Monunga would average 100 yards, I think.
Monunga could be a workhorse back.
Not receiving.
I'm not there. I like what Monunga has
done. I appreciate that.
But I'm just not there.
I think Monunga could be a workhorse back if he got thrown into that role. Now, you need somebody to spell him 100%, so I agree with you there. But I think Monunga would pick up that load and fucking.
But if you can end up with a Jadarian Price, man, you can wind up getting rid of Swift, man.
Well, I mean,
save that money.
It's kind of funny that the Notre Dame has the top 2 running backs in this draft class out of the same fucking school. It's kind of similar to that Judkins Henderson thing.
But and they weren't
even injured on the same day.
And outside of that, it's
rough. It's rough. It's a weak running back class.
Rough, yeah.
Last year's running back class was super strong and super deep.
There's a few more good ones. There's
a couple of guys that they've.
It's nowhere near what last year's was.
No.
You're not getting a Kyle Monunga in the 7th round in this year's draft. You're not.
J2K Gibbs was drafted while Swift was under contract, and that's 100%, man. Like.
And then they moved on from Swift a year later. They kind of knew what they were doing.
And who's to say that that's not going to happen with Ben Johnson here? But look, if you can add to the running back room, running back's another thing you can never have enough of, man. You know, we've been very blessed to have Swift and Monunga stay majority of the year healthy and not miss any time. But they have been dinged up, and we've been sitting here on game day like, oh, God, I hope they play. I hope they play because we don't want to see Travis Homer and we don't want to see Britton Brown.
But Sean,
Britton Brown has performed pretty well.
Sean, but also, I think having
it's Ben Johnson's offense, I think.
Having the 2 has given, the minor injuries that either one has suffered, having 2 of them has given you the ability to let them rest, let them heal up.
Oh,
because when Swift suffered that, what was their groin? And that guy was able to, take the bulk and play that game. And
my overall point, guys, is that
it's a good recipe. It's a good recipe for a healthy running back room is to split carries.
Monunga and Swift are fucking super talented. I'm not gonna debate that. I'm a big proponent of that. I've been fine with this running back room all year. I've said that before we started the season. But what I am saying is that because of Ben Johnson's ability to call the run game and his focus on it and the offensive line that this Bears team has, you can plug a lot of guys behind that offensive line and have a really effective run game.
You might be able to.
So allocating draft assets that are high to that position when you have what you have right now in terms of talent and you have that situation for any running back to be plugged into just doesn't make sense to me, I guess.
For me, it depends. It depends on where they go because I still want game changers in this offense. Gibbs is a game changer at the drop of a dime. I know he was stopped for the first time in his career against Pittsburgh, but he's a game changer. He can change the game on a dime. I still don't think the Bears have enough of those players on their team.
And that shows in these close games, Sean. It does. It does.
And that's something. That's why I'm saying. I mean, and again, I'm with you guys. I don't think the Bears are going to be anywhere around where Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah, he is a dream for me.
He's a top 10 pick.
Yeah, he's a dream for me. Like that guy in this offense would be Bijan Robinson or Gibbs. Like, and he would shred the Packers. You got that right. So I don't know, man. I would still like game changers, and that's just not held to the running back. I would like a defensive end that's a game changer. I would like a defensive tackle that's a game changer. I would like a running back. And I guess in a way, Swift is kind of a guy who can be a game changer at certain times. He still lacks that Gibbs Bijan Robinson quality of just being
of youth.
Elite. He's very good. He's not elite.
I think we would be remiss if we don't mention the fact that the Chicago Bears fans just straight up dominated the Pro Bowl voting.
They did.
Number one, most Pro Bowl fan votes came out of Chicago, going towards the Chicago Bears. That's people in this chat. That's all of us in this community. You guys did a fucking awesome job. Top 5 Pro Bowl vote getters. Number 1 was Travis Kelce. We all know why. Number 2, Josh Allen. Number 3, Drake May. Number 4 was Caleb Williams, and number 5 is Kevin Byard. Caleb Williams was the top quarterback in the NFC for Pro Bowl votes. Bears fans came up big and showed out for their team. Kevin Byard, your best safety. Jaquan Brisker, your best strong safety. Nashawn Wright, your best cornerback in terms of vote gets. Tremaine Edmonds, middle linebacker. Joe Tooney, Drew Dahlman. I mean, just the list. DeAndre Swift. The list goes on and on. Rome was up there as well. The Chicago Bears fans, y'all are awesome. The way you came up and showed out for your team, and I'm sure your team fucking appreciates it. Great job. I mean, the Bears. The Pro Bowl is a fucking popularity contest at this point, and I don't watch it. I don't care about it. I just think it's cool that Bears fans are showing love to their team in such a way. It's just another thing that kind of goes towards showing you that the vibes are really good in Chicago right now. Really fucking good.
They're doing it after the Super Bowl now.
Great.
That's how little it matters.
Isn't it flag football?
Yeah.
Didn't somebody get injured? They're doing it after the Super Bowl. I think somebody got injured last year.
I haven't watched a Pro Bowl in.
Yeah, that's not worth watching. I just think it's a cool acknowledgement for these players.
No, it is. It's nice.
And let's not take anything away from them because these guys have earned it in terms of their play on the field as well. The Bears are 11-4. The Bears, Nashawn Wright leads the league in turnovers. Tremaine Edmonds leads linebackers in turnovers. Joe Tooney is the best guard in football. Drew Dahlman has been one of the top 3 centers in football. It's not like Caleb Williams is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC. I don't give a fuck what you say about his completion percentage.
Hey, you guys, I pushed this. I want to tell everyone in the chat, thank you for showing up every week and hanging out with us. I want to wish y'all a Merry Christmas. We will be back before the New Year, but we will not be on Wednesday because I'm hosting Christmas Eve here, and I'm going to have a house full of people, and I can't just disappear. I don't think my wife will be too happy about that one. But,
no, family first. Take care of business.
We will see you for the Bears Niners pre-show on Sunday. That's Christmas Day. That's up to you guys.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Christmas night.
Yeah, you're the only single guy on this panel, Brandon. Let's be real here.
Don't you always see a movie or something? Don't you always see a movie on Christmas?
I'll be here for the Bears.
I'm gonna come sit down and do a pod with my wife on Christmas Day. Are you fucking nuts?
yeah, that's not good. Hey, Shy Text just jumped in. Merry Christmas, everyone. I gotta bounce out of here. I got the signal. I stretched it out a little bit longer than I should have, but it's all good. I gotta go wrap gifts or whatever my wife Simon has for me right now. Yeah. But love y'all. Thank you all so very much. I wish you and everybody in this chat, you and your families, a very, very Merry Christmas. Thank you guys so much. We wouldn't be here without you. Love y'all. Peace, guys. I'll be texting you guys before Christmas. Love y'all. Peace. Bear down. Fuck Green Bay.
Oso abajo. Yes, sir. Brandon, is anything else? I mean, I feel like there's just so much.
Yeah, I want to ask you a daunting question because we've got this thumbnail here we really hasn't delved too much into.
Okay.
Are the Bears winning the NFC North, Dustin?
Yes, I think that game was going to decide it. I think if the Packers won, I'd be saying they were going to win the NFC North. But the Bears won. They got a game and a half lead. I mean, they could lose the last two. I guess that's possible. Anything's possible, but I think they're going to find a way to win at least one. They might find a way to win both. But I feel like that game, the reason it felt so big and was so crazy, and Bears fans were losing their mind, not just because of how it happened, it was what was on the line. And the NFC North against your rival in Chicago was on the line, and I think the Bears secured it. And I bought a new Bears hat today just to celebrate. But I also bought a shirt with the DJ Moore catch on it. I did finally find one that I was comfortable pulling the trigger on in terms of the merchants. That DJ Moore touchdown catch. This is huge, Brandon.
We were all very worried.
I wanted to make sure you understood that I did get that shirt. It was important for me to tell you that. This game was huge, Brandon. The Bears sealed the NFC North with this game, and they clinched the playoffs just a few hours later. I 100% believe that. Do you?
Yeah, I think this was the game that decided the North. I said that on Saturday before the game. I said that on our show, and I do
did, Dante.
I do believe that the Bears are able to win one more of these games. I think it'll most likely actually beat Detroit, but I hope. Listen, I've said this time and time again. If they continue to they lost to the Packers, and then they had the remaining schedule was like this ladder, man. And can you get up above each step, right? And
push motherfuckers down while you're climbing up. You get to climb up on their heads.
That's what you get to do. Each team.
Yes.
And you're stepping on the helmet of each team, right? Can you get up to the next one? And the Bears keep doing it. They did it with Cleveland, where I thought they needed to respond to the loss, and then they did it against their division rival at home, where they needed to win to make a statement. And if they do it again and again, Dustin, if they do it against a good Niners team, then go do it against Ben's old team coming home. The sky is the fucking limit, man. What I would be hard pressed to give you a team that I think will stop them if they win these last two games, right?
If the Bears win these last two games against
for me to say there's a team that can beat them if
they win these last two games against the Niners on the road and the Lions at home and go into the playoffs potentially with the 1 seed, Brandon. I mean, at the very least, the 2 seed if they win those two games. There a lot of teams. Wow, the Colts just got another touchdown. It's 14-14. I told you guys this game was going to be close. Phillip Rivers threw another one, 16-yard touchdown to Alec Pierce. This game is awesome.
I need Michael Pittman to catch some passes here. I'm in trouble.
You ended up starting him. I guess Higgins didn't do too well yesterday. So
he had 1 point.
So far.
I'm hoping I made the right decision.
But if the Bears can win those,
trouble.
If the Bears win those two games, Brandon, and that's why I don't think they're going to rest anybody, because they're going to understand how strong that momentum is going to be going into the playoffs. If you win those two games, no team is going to want to play the fucking Bears, and the Bears are going to be riding a real big high. You finish the season trouncing the Browns, beating your division rival at home, the Packers, going on the road to the Niners, who are a good team that have outkicked their coverage this year in terms of what they're dealing with, but they're still a damn good team. And then beating the Lions and really sealing their fate of being done in the playoffs and whatever window. It was never a Super Bowl window for the Lions, but whatever window that was is closed. The Bears are going to be on a real big high going into the playoffs, Brandon. I think that's real important. You see every year that team that goes into the playoffs playing their best football and on that streak and really good vibes. Like it makes a difference. They're going to have momentum going into the playoffs if they win those two games.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith said there's two teams he wouldn't want to play in the playoffs. I think. Yeah, he said he wouldn't want to go to play Sean McVay. He wouldn't want to go play the Bears. So,
listen,
this team is better than I think even the Bears fans that believe in them think they are. I really do believe that, man.
Yeah, man. And as much as you want to talk about that game and say the Bears did not play good football for the majority of it, they made the plays when it needed to happen, and I don't think there was much luck involved. I think you saw Cairo Santos being a magician with his kicks. You saw Caleb Williams never flinching, making every throw he needed to make. Even and that one, the Jade Walker, immense pressure coming right at him.
Just being clutch, man.
Yeah. Ben Johnson making the right calls. Hightower was great in that game. That was his game of the year, and I mean, like. You just see all these things kind of coming together at the perfect time, Brandon. You really do. Caleb Williams looked different on Saturday than he looked 3 weeks ago. In terms of his control, in terms of his composure, in terms of his placement, everything was just better. His timing.
Yes.
100%. He
He's
is really
decisive.
coming into his own in this offense, and that should scare the rest
And
of the NFL.
he is great pre-snap, guys. If you can't see that, we got one hell of a quarterback before the ball is snapped. He knows what a defense is up to. He's a smart guy. We've talked about that from Dustin Menu for 2 years. But yeah, I mean, Caleb's been in command. That's what I said on Saturday's show as well. He's just been, since the second half of the Packers game, to me, he's looked very in charge. This is what I actually said. He looks like Ben Johnson if Ben Johnson was playing quarterback for the Bears. You know what I mean? He looks like he's seeing it the way Ben's seeing it, which will be a development that's way ahead of schedule.
100%. This first year, and just think about the timing of that, Brandon. As you're going into the playoffs, Caleb and Ben do this. As you're going into the playoffs, we've been watching these ups and downs, these struggles all year. Caleb puts together his best stretch of football of his career going into these playoffs, man. The sky is the fucking limit. In this conversation we were having earlier, and I mean, I don't think they were saying that the Bears can't do it, but they were saying that their odds aren't very high. I like the Bears. Not in Vegas. The Vegas odds are not going to be favoring the Bears, and we know that, and that's fine. I think that favors the Bears in the end. Honestly, I think they play with a chip on their shoulder really well.
I don't think
I don't give any team better odds than the Bears in this NFC the way it's been this year going into these playoffs. I think the Bears can compete with anybody and beat anybody, and I'll put that on Caleb's shoulders. The guy has 6 comebacks this season. It's tied for fourth most in his season.
From a gambler's standpoint, I think.
Yeah, Vegas will never give us
where he's right in saying, like, if you're going to make a bet on the Bears for a lot of money, you're bold, for sure. Because, I mean, there was a panel of 4 guys today. I sent you guys the video. It was on NFL Network. All 4 of them said, I think Adam Schefter was one of 5. So, yeah, 4 guys said this Bears team cannot go to a Super Bowl. And Adam Schefter said, why not? He was the only one. So, I mean, this is still the perception of the Bears, even in the national media. They are not good enough to win a Super Bowl. And that's why I love that Ben Johnson started his post-game speech with, this is a special group and you're not a fluke. You're not a fluke. That's what he said. And that's important. Like, it's not about a quarterback leaving the game because you're like, oh, Jackson Dart was doing the same thing that Jordan, and like, it's not about these guys. It's about just how you're responding to the situation, the scenario in its moment. And the Bears are just doing a really good job of doing that. There's just adversity and they're resilient and all that stuff, man. But I did want to say this. We didn't talk about this. In the bottom of
Brandon, real quick, hold that thought, because you brought up Ben saying it's not a fluke. And that's why I hate when people throw the luck word out there.
I don't even know what luck is. What is luck? It's not
I mean, we know what luck is in its general
term. Not definable. It's karma. It's fake.
At the end of the day, what my point is, and my point has been to anybody who said that, the Bears are creating their own luck. They are executing plays. It's not luck that put that fucking 45-yard pass in DJ Moore's hands perfectly to win the game. It's not luck that put that onside kick in Dobbs's hands, and then you had Hardy and Sewell jumping on him and knocking him out of the play. It's not luck. I mean, he wasn't up to the moment, but the Bears were. The Bears were in a bunch formation on that onside kick. It's not been done much this season or at all, I think. And then they just executed it perfectly. They were well coached. They were well prepared for that moment, and the Packers weren't. That's not luck. That's execution and preparation coming to fruition on the football field. That's what that is. They put in that play that DJ caught from Caleb on Thursday. Caleb and Ben saw something, and they went with it when they saw the cover 0. That's not luck. They did it on 1st and 10. They said, we're going to take a deep shot because that makes total sense because we got 3 more downs to work with this thing. And they just sealed the game. That is not luck. That's practice, identity. Fruition on the football field.
And it doesn't just become your identity, because somebody said that earlier in the show. It becomes the impression you leave moving forward. A team like the Bears are tough. A team like the Bears are tough to play because they don't quit. So, and every team that's going to play this Bears team, man, is going to look at this where fans are saying things like luck. The opponents that the Bears are about to play, you think they're treating this like luck? You think when the Niners are practicing over the week for the course of the week to play the Bears. They're thinking we don't have to worry about them. They've just been getting lucky. No,
Well, they might get lucky against you.
No, these players and coaches on the opposing teams, man, are like, watch what this Bears team is doing. Look out for this, because when they come to play us, we have to play our 60 minutes. We have to put them out because they come back. That's what they do. So there's no luck, because the teams that are about to play them appreciate whatever you consider luck to be, the comebacks, the wild finishes, the heroics. That's what the Bears are made of, and teams are starting to see it, and that's the impression they're leaving. But Dustin, I want to talk about this real quick. At the end of that game, overtime especially, even if only for a brief moment in the game, the tight end thing happened again. And I just can't.
Colston Loveland made huge catches on that.
And just catch after catch after. I mean, it was like 5 consecutive, and I just can't stress enough. Like, even though we didn't see as much as we thought we would of those guys, when Ben Johnson wants to turn that on and make that something,
or when the offense needs something, they need to move the ball,
and they
do go to the tight ends. Yes,
and that is something you just don't have an answer for. So,
and Brandon, they did split Colston Loveland out wide a decent amount in that game.
Yeah, he caught the pass in overtime, I think, out wide, didn't he? Or was he inside and cut out?
No, he was inside on that one, but there was multiple formations throughout that game that they did split Colston Loveland out wide, which made a lot of sense to me going into that game, because those tight ends bring such a unique skill set, both of them, Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet, and you can utilize that to create mismatches with cornerbacks and safeties and linebackers that a lot of teams just don't have that advantage. And when Ben can fall back on that, like you're saying, Brandon, you can create offense when you're having trouble finding it. And Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet were huge in getting that momentum going at the end of that game. I agree with you 100%. And so the Packers were highly focused on those two players, Brandon. They really were.
And to be aware, if you're Ben Johnson, that DJ Moore was going to be crawling across the finish line in that football game. He had just made the big catch at the end of the fourth. I mean, you needed something from these guys, right, Dustin? DJ was barely making it back to the line. He didn't. I mean, you needed. I think Ben was probably aware and understanding of that as well. Like, we've got somebody else has got to start catching the ball because we're killing this guy. He was dead, dude. I mean, you asked everything you could of DJ more and more.
So special teams is Richard Hightower had his best game of the season as a special teams coach. We were down on him to start the season. They were having some rough games. Special teams is really coming together. Caleb Williams is starting to be in real command of this offense. This defense is coming up with big stops in big time situations. Kept the Packers out of the end zone every time they got to the red zone, it felt like, right? So like things are coming together for this team at the perfect time, and all three phases are starting to complement each other really well. And when they're not complementing each other, Brandon, they're carrying each other while they're figuring their shit out. This is hugely important. It's something that can't be overlooked with this team. They all 53 of them are contributing. Jade Walker needs to step up. He does. D-Jack needs to step up. He does. And then Tremaine Edmonds comes back and he don't really play. I mean, just everybody. Sewell has been starting for a good part of the season. Makes a huge play on special teams to get Josh Blackwell stepping up. I mean, Cairo Santos, Torrey Taylor had his best game as a Chicago Bear on Saturday. I said that, and it didn't really get acknowledged. You acknowledged it. Torrey Taylor, in my mind, had his best game as a Chicago Bear on Saturday. Everyone is coming into their own right now.
Yeah, as you texted me that, I was rewatching the game, and I think he had just punted.
What's up, Dylan?
In a very important point of that game, and he put the ball like on the 9 or something, and I was just like, and it kind of stopped.
And before that, he put it on like the 2.
Yeah, he was really impressive.
It ended up being the 5. I thought it was a 2. It ended up being the 5.
And like you said, Dustin, each it's not just Caleb either, though. Like, we talk about how clutch Caleb Williams is. This whole team is clutch. When Nashawn Wright forced that fumble, if they get even a field goal there, if they get even a field goal in that moment, the game's
very
over.
Different. Very
it's
different.
Probably over. Yeah. So
huge play.
I mean,
and let's just get a clap for Dylan real quick. I've never seen Dylan in the chat before.
Oh, what's up, Dylan?
Let it ride around. Let it come back. Let him get the full. Come to 4 stars to get the clap. Thank you for being here, Dylan. Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Appreciate you.
Yeah, and there's been players at every position in every unit of this offense, defense, special teams that has stepped up when there's a moment where they need to, like Josh Blackwell blocked a kick earlier this year when that
Against
was
the
it.
Raiders,
If they don't block the kick, the Bears lose the game. I mean, whenever this team's in that position,
they find a
somebody,
way to make.
not just Caleb,
Yeah, it's
somebody steps up and makes a fucking play, dude. And you can't quantify that, but you also can't believe at all, if you're a Bears fan, especially, that it's going
and
to
it's just gonna
stop
stop. It's not
anytime
gonna stop.
soon.
It's not gonna
Because
stop.
that's
That's
who
who
this
they are.
football team has become.
That's what they have
And
showed you they are this entire season, guys. Period. End of story. There's no reason to stop
Yeah.
believing it until they give you a reason, and
it is
it just doesn't
sustainable
exist.
because they've sustained it. That's the only reason you can say it is, right? Because you'd say this stuff's taking the ball away at this rate, or coming back with double-digit losses with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's not sustainable stuff. You would be able to say that up until only this moment where you can say it's being sustained. And
Yeah,
that's
man.
just what it is after
Until they show you
8
otherwise,
weeks of
this
this
is who
stuff
they
in a
are.
row.
Yes.
It's not only is it who they are, they're gonna keep doing it. Like I
Niners
said,
just got a
Justin,
fourth
I want
down
to stand
conversion.
firm on that. When they go to play teams like the Rams, guys, you should believe they can
Peace
win a
out,
Super
Tom.
Bowl.
Appreciate you.
Because when they go to play a team like the Rams and they go to play a team like Seattle, I still think they'll take the ball away. I still think if they're in a one-score game, the Bears have the better chance of winning it at the end. Like I still believe that the Bears will do the things that people call us unsustainable. I believe they're going to do it again.
This
So
is a good point.
what does that say about it? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it says that you can believe in them in any game, no matter what. This is a good point by Samuel right here, and I want to get to this. He says, I really hope that CJ Gardner Johnson is not going to miss any time. That's going to be tough if he is. I saw that play when he got beat on that touchdown. It looked like he hyperextended. It looked like he hyperextended that knee. If he misses any time, that is a problem. But I would say, and we've been saying this for a few weeks, man. I said it a few weeks ago. I would put Tyreek Stevenson at the nickel back. I would put Tyreek at nickel, leave Jalen and Nashawn on the outside. I think Tyreek can play that nickel. He played safety in college. He has the ability to do it. He's got the size. He's got the ability in the run game. He can blitz. He's got the strength to do it, the speed to keep up with those guys. I would put Tyreek at the nickel if that is what it comes down to.
They don't ever really blitz with him. I'd be interested to see how often.
Yeah, I think he could maybe excel in that role personally.
I'd be interested to see how often he gets home. He bursts off the line. There's no doubt about that. That's what makes him a really good press corner.
100%. And here's another good point by AC Adam. He says that's why we believe in national viewers who don't watch games, Bears games, don't. And it's not just national viewers, it's these national media. LaShawn McCoy out there again. What'd he say? He said the dumbest shit. He said, maybe I got a little too high on Shador, but I had not seen this from Caleb, what I saw on Saturday. Well, if you had not seen that from Caleb until you just saw it on Saturday, that means LaShawn McCoy, you have not watched for the last year. Now, going back to last season, Caleb was doing this shit and the coaching was letting him down. This year, he's been doing it all fucking season. So if you're going to say you had not seen that from Caleb until this past Saturday, then you're just blatantly admitting on your fucking stream, flat out to everyone whoever the fuck they choose to watch it, I don't know. But everyone who's watching you're admitting, I don't watch these games. So maybe you shouldn't comment on it at all because you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. LaShawn McCoy.
I've never seen the side of Caleb. Did you not watch a week ago? It's like, what the fuck?
Come on.
You're talking about like this guy, the Caleb. Even in the rookie losses, man. I think when he had a moment where he needed to put the Bears in position to win, I thought he did. I thought he did more often than not. Yeah, I thought you can't. He's not going to go out there and cover the Hail Mary. I can tell you that, guys. So I thought Caleb did what he needed to do in order to win games in his rookie season. They let him down. This fourth quarter clutch thing. I think Kyle Long said, I can't remember who said it. It goes back to college. I mean, this is Caleb. This is what Caleb does. Yeah, I meant to do that on the show at some point.
I've been doing it all night.
I wanted to say to you? I wanted to say,
Abajo?
I just need a cigarette and a Dr. Pepper. That's what I was going to say.
Landman, you started watching it?
Yeah, that's what I wanted you to do.
Yeah, man.
Always watch it.
Landman is a goddamn good show, dude. It is
great.
So
It's
good.
Great show. Phenomenal.
Yeah,
if you guys got some time for Christmas break, you're going to just be wasting it. Throw that
Watch
shit on.
Landman if you haven't watched it. Yeah, and Sean loves that show as well. I saw him posting about that on X actually. Listen, man, there's so much to talk about. I don't think we covered everything, but we can't go much longer. Brandon, is there anything else about that game that you wanted to get to? Austin Booker, I think, deserves credit for the way he played. This Bears team deserves credit for the way every team. I mean, Jed went through it. All these guys came up clutch, man, and you just got to play who's in front of you, and you got to find a way to win that game in that moment, and that's exactly what the Bears did. They're giving us all heart attacks, and I've been saying this for months now. This is this team, and you're going to just have to accept it and deal with it and enjoy this ride as a Chicago Bear.
I do want to say one more thing.
As every week, period, end of story.
Okay, we can't compare our losses, but like
What's up, JR?
Micah Parsons and Jordan Love, obviously in late first quarter, early second, big deal. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for any football team to lose their best defensive player and their quarterback. It's a big deal, guys.
But it's part of the game.
But the Bears did really impress me in how they overcame the loss of Rome Odunze and Luther Burden and Jade Walker's in their absence. Jade Walker stepping up and playing good football.
Jade Whopper.
Jade Whopper. So I do want to say this.
And OZ really stepped up. He had his best drop of the season, Brandon. OZ had his best drop of the season. Congratulations to OZ. Good job.
We're talking about this Bears team and like the way the 55 minutes they didn't play good football. Remember, you got two pretty important guys coming back. So if it's Jade Walker, DJ Moore, Luther Burden, and Rome Odunze, it's going to be a much easier offense to move the ball with. I assure you of that. Caleb Williams will have no problem moving the chains when those two players return. Guys.
And man, DJ Moore has stepped up so big in the last 2 weeks. And
yeah, DJ Moore's my hero.
He's a hell of a fucking player, and we all know that. And what a luxury it is to where you have Luther Burden out, you have Rome Odunze out, but you still have fucking DJ Moore on the field, who's a number one receiver, and he showed it in that game.
And then you have a young guy in Jade Walker.
Fuck the Packers always.
Yeah, you can just plug in Jade Walker, and he's scoring touchdowns.
And he catches a touchdown and dances on your ass. Yeah. Fuck the Packers always. Steve, you're in here. We love you, but fuck the Packers always, as DJ Moore said.
That's what it is.
He just said F, but like we know what he meant. He meant fuck. When you say F, the F word, you mean fuck. Fuck the Packers. Siempre.
I hope that's what you're implying.
Man, that was the best ending to a Bears game that I can remember. You can bring up the Cardinals game, that we let them off the hook game. You can bring up the Super Bowl run that they had in 06. Nothing like that I've ever experienced in my life, man. I'm still honestly processing it today. I'm still having waves of emotion about it. I think all true Bears fans are, because it's just what that means in the grand scheme of things. It's a regular season game, but you lock down the NFC North, hopefully. You get over that Packers hump. You secure the playoffs on the same weekend, like it means so fucking much in the grand scheme of and this is the first year with Ben Johnson, Brandon. The first year. Bears have a chance to win 13 games. That's insane. Insane, man. I cannot process it. I still can't.
Yeah, and I think
Caleb did mention
the only way you're this far ahead of schedule if you're a team that's implementing a new everything is that you're progressing at a much quicker pace than
100%
people would expect you to.
And that is coaching, as the guys in the chat are pointing out.
I do want to say this too. I don't want to be super biased in the Bears' favor, but like you have to imagine the Bears continue.
I can't believe it.
The Bears continue to progress into a better team each week. So you've got that to look forward to when this team does play in the playoffs. No matter where they finish, no matter what seed they are, they will be a better football team in that game than they are today.
Yeah, and Dante brings up polls, Brandon. And yeah, that guy deserves all the credit in the fucking world. He had the best offseason that I can remember as a Chicago Bears fan this past year. And last
CJ Gardner Johnson,
they've made moves in the season.
Joe Troyenka or Tryon Shainka, whatever. I thought he's made some impactful signings as well.
The trade for Tryon Shoyinka was huge, and he's been playing well. I mean, Brian Poles has done a masterful job at putting this team in the position to be performing the way they are. The hiring of Ben Johnson, the rebuild of this offensive line in one offseason. The draft that he had, I mean, it just goes on and on. All the contributors, and that's what you need if you're going to be a competitive team in the NFL. You need top to bottom, everybody to be pulling on the same end of the rope and be contributing to winning. And Poles started that off. I mean, he started that off 3 years ago when he got here. We just didn't see it, man, and we were impatient, and that's understandable.
Yeah, and everybody,
the Bears fans deserve better than what we've gotten we're getting it this year. So let's appreciate it and let's enjoy it, man.
Yeah, and these, by the way, man, I didn't like the Nashon Wright thing was an Al Harris thing. And
And then the Al Harris thing was a Ben Johnson thing.
and what's the linebacker's name? DeMarco Jackson.
Yeah, DJ.
That was a Dennis Allen thing. He said that guy
played
before.
He played with Dennis Allen, yeah.
So
and
the coach,
played his ass off in key moments.
Ryan Pohl's Dante ability to listen to what these coaches who he
did
paid,
feel different, MC.
The trust that he's put in his coaches this time around, that he's able to. He signed these guys. They made suggestions on who they want on this roster, even outside the draft. The free agency signed were influenced by the coaches he put in place. And look at the difference it's made. You're able to plug a guy in because you know what you're looking for, right, Dustin? You can plug a DeMarco Jackson in because you know what you need, and you know that guy fits the scheme if he is necessary, if injury occurs, and he comes in and he plays a game-changing role. And that's
last thing, the most important piece is we're going to take the North and never give it back.
Turn the page. Took the fucking North. Now don't give it back. Fuck yes. It's been a long time coming, man. We're in the best season of Chicago Bears fandom that we all can really remember, man. I don't really know what else to say. I feel great. I feel great about this team. I feel great about its prospects going into the playoffs. The fact that they've clinched already at this point is just fucking huge, man. And the way that they did it, beating the Packers, guys, you can't overstate it.
We're gonna watch a playoff game. And Ben 100%. Johnson's first season as a head coach, we're gonna watch a playoff game, and enough can't be said about that, man. Because you just have to imagine, and I don't knock on some wood. You have to imagine if Ben Johnson as a rookie head coach gets you to, let's say, 12, 13 wins and you're in the playoffs, what the hell does the future of this organization look like? I mean, this has got to be a consistent playoff football team. If the guy's doing his first season as a head coach, he doesn't even have the pieces necessarily that he wants on this team.
You can't count your eggs before they're in the basket. You're in the playoffs this year. You need to
that's what I'm saying, man.
Make the most out of this.
We're going to watch a playoff game, win or lose. We're going to watch a playoff game this season.
And here's the next thing, Brandon, and it's going this way. The Bears have a potential to get the number 1 seed. I really didn't think that was going to happen just a few weeks ago. I think it might happen. I think the playoffs in the NfC might come through Chicago. That's what
Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay!
Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Yes, sir!
All right, we appreciate everybody in the chat.
Oso Abajo.
What's
Oso Abajo means bear down.
You're gonna have to read them because I can't see it.
All right, let's Oso Abajo means bear down. Just so you know, it's Spanish. So it's a weird way to say it, but it works. DeMarco Jackson college tape is crazy. Jed says. Dylan says, Nashon Wright, we love him out here in California. Lost his coach. Yep, out in Oakland. I feel you. That was a sad thing to hear about. I would have liked to win the game without my heart rate going up, but winning in late in the fashion was embarrassing for the Packers, and I love it. The game was instant top 5 all-time Bears games, and these Bears-Packers games just have not been that. These last few that the Bears and Packers have played have showed you that this, even last year, the end of the season, this Bears team is legit, and this rivalry is
the first game. In the beginning of the season, they played the Packers, and they
missed on a block. It's Chicago, man.
They missed on a block field goal. They won on a field goal. They lost on an interception on the final play, and they won on a touchdown on the final. This is 2 very even teams. The Bears just leveled the playing field after a draft and an offseason. I'm very curious to know who's in charge of this rivalry moving forward, man.
I think it's the Bears. I mean, we were talking earlier. One more thing to mention. The NFL is in this weird transitional period right now. It's hitting a sweet spot. Like, these new quarterbacks are stepping up. You got some new coaches coming in that are going to be a big part of the NFL landscape going forward. Andy Reid is kind of on his way out. I mean, like, Bill Belichick is no longer in the league. These established coaches. Dan Campbell, I wouldn't even put in that conversation, honestly. I mean, Sean McVay is still there. Kyle Shanahan's still there. But, like, there's this transitional phase happening right now. That's why you're seeing all this parity in the NFL. Like, this shit is wide open because of it. But the Bears could come out of that transitional phase on top. They could come out as that next Kansas City Chiefs type team, a team that's constantly in it. You constantly got to worry about that. Could compete for Super Bowls every year. And it's how they play this year, and it's how they play this offseason that kind of really sets that up, man. But this transitional phase, I think we're going to look back on it and be like, that was when the Bears kind of turned into this consummate competitor in the NFL. And I think this is an exciting time because of that. It's like the inception of it. It's happening now.
You got the coach that I think would make you competitive regardless. I think you've got a coach that's going to compete for playoffs and compete for Super Bowls consistently. He's obviously, it's pretty obvious, guys, at this juncture, Ben Johnson's influence over the offense and where they rank in the NFL is going to be a pretty consistent thing. You're going to have a top 10 offense as long as Ben Johnson's coaching it. I believe that firmly. So as long as, health remains on your side, Caleb's healthy and Ben's your coach.
Yeah, I don't, man.
You're gonna have a good offense. So yeah, I think this team is definitely in a position to sustain success, Dustin. And I also think it's pretty cool to see Mike Vrabel, Liam Cohen, and Ben Johnson with 3 of the top 5 records in the NFL.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, right, this transitional thing. Like, new guys are clawing up at the quarterback and the coaching, and the quarterback and coaching kind of runs the NFL, Brandon. And like you said, Liam Cohen, Vrabel, and it's not new, but he's a new face in New England. Ben Johnson, first year head coach. It's kind of just happening right before our eyes, and I think the Bears might have the best of that coach stepping up into that role and that quarterback stepping up into that role, right? I'll take Caleb Williams over Trevor Lawrence. I'll take Ben Johnson over Liam Cohen, man. I think that the Bears are just in the best position to come out on top of this transition that's happening and really establish that for a 5 to 10 year period, man.
Yeah, the pieces are there, man. And now the coaches, like Dante stated, it can't be understated. This coaching staff has kind of shown you that Ryan Poles has the ability to do a really good job as long as the guys who he hires can help him do it. And
have good information to put in his ears.
What's the word you always use? Whatever word you use.
What?
With two minds are tied together, basically. Starts with a C. I don't know, but these guys are obviously thinking all in one direction.
I'm sorry, I'm letting you down on that one, but
they're all thinking in one direction, and that's Brian Poles, Ben Johnson. This coaching staff that's obviously really fucking good, guys. Better than we might have even thought. I think it is. As long as these guys remain here, as long as Caleb remains here, this is just going to get better. So, yeah, I don't know how dominant they are over the next decade, but I know this. They're going to get a lot better before they ever get worse.
And right now, this is like them at their very worst, you would imagine. Like, it's just starting out. They're 11-4, and they clinched the playoffs.
So I'm saying there's a long process of progression still to be had here before you ever start to decline, before what Dustin's talking about. Andy Reid and the Chiefs look like they're out. John Harbaugh and the Ravens are having a rough, like the Bears aren't even close to being at that juncture of success yet, and it's going to take years to get there. So yes, you have to believe that they're going to be good for some time to come.
It's there again. It's just so much that like comes into play with the Bears beating the Packers the way they did, and what it means in the short term, what it means in the long term. So like, I understand all you Bears fans out there trying to process it. Understand this: we're in the playoffs. We came out the most in the Pro Bowl voting. Our team's going to be represented very highly there. This team is going to be competitive against every team they play, no matter what. And if they lose in the first round of the playoffs, as was suggested earlier in the show, I don't give a shit. I really don't. They have given me a hell of a season to watch. I've appreciated every minute of it. We got to see the development and the growth and the progress of one of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL and the best young coaches in the NFL. And the sky is just the limit from here. This is all great. This is all icing on the cake. This is all icing on the cake for me as a Bears fan.
The strut you can walk with going into 2026. For once, you can believe in what you've got in Ben Johnson and Caleb. You can believe that this team, after another draft, you're adding another 7 talented players to this roster. You believe you're going to come in and be pretty dominant over most of the NFC. That's my mindset of where
well, I don't think they have all 7 of their picks.
If you're winning 11 to 13 games in your first year doing this, you have to believe this Bears team is going to be pretty frightening. And I don't believe this is a wash. Somebody posted today, the Bears are the Washington Commanders of last year, meaning that they'll just fizzle out next year and struggle. But I believe more in Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen than I ever would have Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury. I've said for years, guys, Cliff Kingsbury
Well,
doesn't
that's the cautionary tale,
he doesn't
Brandon, right?
sustain anything. He sustains nothing. Nothing Cliff Kingsbury ever touches remains. It's just how it is.
Well,
So
Jed, do you have your cake and eat it too? Sorry, Brandon. Go ahead.
wow. But yeah, guys, I think you're so far ahead of schedule. It obviously implies that this Bears team come next season with an off season to watch some tape, another draft. They're going to be a really, really, really quality football team. Know that.
But that's the cautionary tale, Brandon. That Washington Commanders team came out of nowhere last year and went to the NFC Championship game, and like that was icing on the cake for them to get beat by the Eagles the way they did. As bad as that was, like they were still happy with that. But then you come back the next year, your quarterback gets injured, you have a lot of trouble replicating what you did the season prior. That's why I'm saying, like, don't just take it for granted. This season is a playoff season. Go fucking get it done. This team can beat anyone. This shit is wide open. I am not just saying, well, next year the Bears will be fucking right back to 12-5 and be back in the playoffs. You don't fucking know in the NFL. It's crazy. Take advantage of this moment and this opportunity now as the Chicago Bears. And as Chicago Bears fans, enjoy it. Just enjoy it because you don't know what we're going to get next year. As much faith as I have in Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams continuing to progress,
No, I agree with you, man.
Don't
you
know.
know me. I'm not looking past it. I think they're a Super Bowl winning team this season. I'm not looking past it. But I mean, in regards to like not giving a shit if they're eliminated from the playoffs, you get that sense of relief because you believe in the future, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
Brandon,
if you thought this was a flash in the pan and they lose, it stings a little more because it's like, well, that was it. That was our window. And if you believe that this team is building a foundation for sustainable success, and you believe that what they've done this year, being up as far ahead of schedule as they are, implies that they could be something really fucking good in the future, near future here to come, then yeah, it makes it a little easier if this team does lose this game in a wild card round to be like, hey,
we're just getting started here. We're just getting started here.
This is about to be real. So
yep. And we're just getting finished here on the Halas Hall Hangover. This has been presented to you by 4-Star Chicago Sports. I'm Dustin Jones. That's Brandon Duplessis. We had Sean Lugo in here earlier, Kyle Duplessis. They had to get out of here. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We had Dylan in here. Samo was giving great content, bringing that fire. Ant Mass. Brandon Howman just jumped in. Dante Purify. AC Adam. J2K. Scottish Bear was in here. Bruce, as always. It's Chicago, man. New member of the chat. I hope you subscribe, dude. You said you would fuck with me. So, like, fuck with me. Let's keep this thing going. We're gonna be here. We're here 4 times a week giving y'all Bears content, and we'll be doing it all off season as well. But first, we're gonna go through every one of these games, and we're gonna be here right with you guys. These conversations are just a goddamn blast, and you guys make it that way. I can't leave out Jed, who gave me a 10 out of 10 on my joke. That was off the cuff, Brandon. That was pretty fucking good. Shy Tex. Y'all are all awesome, man. I'm Dante Purify, one of my favorites. Y'all are all I am Plank. Goddamn, you guys brought the heat tonight, man. We appreciate you so much. Phil was in here. I can't forget him either. Mikey, Relentless Mikey was in here. Man, Crooked Commish. Y'all are the shit. Y'all make this thing go. You're the force behind it, and we want to see you guys back here again. We're gonna probably not do a Wednesday or Thursday show this week. It's the holidays. It's a little weird timing. We'll do a pregame. Merry Christmas to everybody, man. We'll do a pregame show going ahead of that Bears-Niners game on Sunday. But this has just been a wonderful season. It's been a wonderful time to be talking Bears with you guys. And I'm just here for the moment to keep enjoying it and see where they get us and see where it takes us, man. Mock draft next, Dante. Stay tuned. We're doing a mock draft.
Well, win or lose.
Solo mock draft. No, win or lose, we're doing a mock draft, Dante.
Mock draft, for sure.
Hey, we love you
everybody
guys.
Have a Merry Christmas.
One thing before we get out of here.
Families.
One thing before we get out of here.
What?
Good, better, bad. Never let it rain. Never let it rain. You're good, get better. You're good, get better. You better get better. You better get better. Bears on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bears!
And our better ain't best yet.
Yep, we're still working on it. Guys, love you. Oso abajo. Bear down. Have a great fucking Christmas. We love you. We'll see you next time.